Well, that is a nice copper coin, but oh, Doug, do you know what time it is?
45 up.
Who says 45 up, Doug? It's quarter after. Who says 45 up, Doug? I was telling Doug before the show, I said, this is the last week I can play that intro because it's still a little bit funny, but it's starting to wear its funniness thin. But what's up, guys? Quarter Hoarder here. We're going to be doing the quarter after show, going over the last few videos with some extra insight, some funny jokes, whatever things happen. And we're going to try to make it a point to interact with the chat more. It's tough to look all around, but if you get your questions in, we're going to try to get to them and just have a fun little night. I'm going to bring in the gang who hopefully everybody knows, and I'll start off with your favorite relic hunter that's shops at Heritage. I'm not really sure, but it's Charlie, the Heritage Relic Hunter. How are you, Charlie?
Hi, Jason. How you doing tonight, Jason?
Charlie, I noticed before the show that behind your camera now is the stairs where usually it was a wall. Did you warn your wife so she doesn't come down inappropriately dressed?
No, I did not.
Perfect. We might see the lovely Judy walk by today. That'll be a treat for everybody on the show.
Queen Judy, by the way.
Queen Judy. My apologies to Judy. Who else do we got here? We've got our favorite couple that people for some reason think are married.
Hello.
But it's Rich and Lynn, mother and son. Come on, guys. You guys sound good.
Doing?
I can hear you.
Good.
You missed out yesterday. Rich, we got out for a little bit yesterday. You missed out, but
you know what?
It was rainy, muddy, windy, cold.
It's funny. I actually drove past you guys yesterday, and I had to force myself not to stop because I had work to do. I knew I'd be there for way too long.
I wish you would have stopped because I would have got a ride home with you early. It was terrible out there.
You would have got stuck in the mud.
That's the other reason why.
Well, and let me bring in the only guy that did good yesterday for whatever reason. He was on a hot streak. Dog Tag Doug, Mexican Doug, Jane Fon Doug.
Hey,
you was
Doug.
in the virtual background.
You like my ears?
You look like, who is that main guy from the Gremlins? Gizmo?
Gizmo.
Yeah.
You look like Gizmo from the Gremlins.
Yeah.
Doug, what is
Hello,
your shirt
everybody.
say? Main Cabin Master?
Yes.
What does
One
that
of my
mean?
favorite shows.
Oh, it's a
Cabin
television
Masters.
show.
Main Cabin Masters. Monday
What's
night.
that show about?
And the guys up in Maine fix camps that have deteriorated. They're in the Augusta area, and they go all over Maine fixing these campsites. They call them camps. They're really little houses on, getaways for people to enjoy.
Listen, Doug, in your spare time, don't write the review for TV Guide. That was terrible.
Yeah.
I do want to say, Doug, in the chat, I saw a bunch of people. I'd like to give some shout outs. I saw Smokin' Louie, who was I think the first guy in there. I see Papa Russ. This is Tom's World. Chris Fallon, our buddy Chris Fallon from Florida.
I'll be seeing him in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
There's
Marty Vistol. Team Lynch. I love Team Lynch. 717 Detector. Teresa, that treasure hunter, one of our moderators. Thank you, Teresa. And of course, I see Hollywood Joe, another one of our metal detectors. Another one of our moderators. Thanks, guys, for showing up. Karen Kasupski, who we are going to be digging with this weekend. Excited to see Karen. Sharon Thiebold, Coils for Foyer. Bells is here, Doug. Your biggest fan. Bells. Phil Bordner, Indie Aquatics, Dirty Paws Detecting, Nick Tough Acre. Hope I got it right. Scott Sullivan, Digging History on Cape Cod. I will get to them all later. It should be a fun night, Doug. Just kind of hanging out, doing what we do. What do you think?
Yeah, with 236 people so far.
It's a party. They wouldn't have all fit in my
hangout.
house, so this is the best. This is the best way to do it.
Can I say hi to a couple people that have said hi to me?
Absolutely.
Sharon Theobald. She said hello to me. John Shute, Patrick Parker, and Deanna.
Just those four? Okay.
I want to shout out to them.
And
Richard B.
Rich, would you like to say hello to anyone in the chat?
I think you guys got them already, and I've been typing in and saying hello too.
Okay, Rich is doing that. Charlie, you can see the same people I see, Charlie. You're welcome to say hello if you want.
A little better.
Yep.
Yeah. I think so.
So we're going to go over the last two videos just to kind of have something to make sure that we can keep the show rolling. But again, if anybody has any questions, I'm going to try to get to them. I feel bad that we don't always answer the questions in the chat. So, Rich, Charlie, and Doug are going to keep an eye on that for good questions. Don't ask like, what's Doug's shoe size? Like something, like if it's a good, meaty question.
Actually, Jason, before you go on, there's a couple things I wanted to say that
Okay.
I don't see the chat at all. So sometimes people do ask me things or say hi, and I don't see it. So just ahead of time, some of the regulars that I know are on there. I wanted to say hi to Mary Jane, Luana, Louise, Steve,
Marcus, Greg.
So
How do you know these people are in there, Lynn, if you can't see the chat?
I do see, right? Cat Feather says, hi, Lynn.
Oh, okay. Hi, Kat.
Okay, there you go. Lynn, you're making friends, Lynn.
Oh, yeah. I need friends.
I see Digger Degas in there, who I love. Diana Reed, Jason Weir. We'll try to get everyone's name, before the end of the show. All right, let me bring it in here, Lynn, and we'll try to have something to talk about. And before I started, I do like little clips, pictures, just talking points. This video is the continuation of the same day from the video before. So this video starts at probably like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Charlie, you had just left after you found 3 back-to-back coppers.
Yeah.
Charlie left, and we still continued a heck of a day. So that's kind of where we're picking up.
That was a crazy day.
And if you don't know where we are, we've been detecting. I didn't even put the pictures up because people are probably sick of seeing these cobs. But we're at the field of cobs where we've already pulled out the 5 hammered silver coins, with so much more to come over the next few weeks. I mean, it's been, Doug, would you say it's the single greatest field we've ever hunted on?
Without question. And let me tell you, we have been on and blessed to have some of the properties that we've hunted the last 5-6 years, but this by far does all of them.
Yeah, it's not only the volume, but the age. I mean, I think we're into 12 1,600 coins from this field alone. Not to mention, 5 of them being hammered silver, which is almost impossible to find in America in the dirt. 5 in one field. And I don't want to give away what's coming up, but things that just blow them out of the water. It's really incredible, but I don't want to give away spoilers.
I'm hoping I find 12 1600s coins in my lifetime.
That's what I'm saying.
And we did it in this one field.
Last year, when I did the best of the year video, I think we found 2 1600 coins the whole year last year, all of us combined. And the fact we found 12 before the end of February so far is just insane. But let's get this ball rolling, and we will pause it as needed. I think the very first photo I have is actually a small video clip. So when I'm going to play that, when it comes up, I'm going to put it in full screen so people can see it and then come back to us. I think 7 or 8 coppers today. Everyone's been different. No duplicates.
Right there.
All right, that looks pretty thick.
Kind of small.
I think it's a little small and thick.
Small and thick.
That's upside down, Rich, to you. Keep going, keep spinning. Right there.
Ew.
Yeah,
It's a KG2.
Yeah. The first duplicate copper.
You shouldn't have said. Why would you say that?
I guess because it's still not a duplicate for you. I'm just saying for the group. All right, there it is. What's wrong one?
That looks great.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was funny that whoops, see what happened, Rich. See what happened. I went too far. Let me go back. This is what I'm saying about trying to do the whole show. It's an impossible task. But so this was probably copper number 8 on the day, maybe 9 on the day, even though it was the start of a new video, because we cut the day in half because it would have been like an hour and 20-minute long video, and I don't like them that long. This is the first one, and even though it was copper number 8 or 9, up to this point, every copper we found was different. Like there was usually, you know, we find, let's say 2 or 3 matron heads, you know, 2 braided hairs. Like this was a day where everyone was different up until Rich ruined it for us.
Until you jinxed me.
I did. It was my fault. I did jinx you. But look how nice it looks. I think it was a KG2. And there was a question here, Doug, even though it's totally not related to what Rich found. Jade Furman said, her question is, how often do you find flying eagle cent and 3-cent Trime coins? Now, Doug, I won't ask you for the flying eagle cent because I know the answer is disappointing. But the 3-cent Trime, Doug, that people have seen so far, how many have you found?
Oh, so far, 1.
1 so far. And that was at the Jersey Devil field, right?
Exactly.
Rich, have you found a 3-cent Trime yet?
No.
Not yet?
Nope. That's on my bucket list. Yeah.
Charlie, have you found a 3-cent Trime?
I have not, but a lot of my permissions I've seen a lot pulled out.
Yeah, it does not stink.
It stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason,
Charlie,
you found,
I know the
one
feeling,
at my
Charlie.
permissions.
What's that, Rich?
I said you found one at one of my permissions.
I found 4 over the years. Not that I'm bragging, because there's plenty of things that I found less than you guys, but I've been lucky enough to find 4 3-cent Trimes. But my last one was probably closing in on a year ago at that giant horse farm we did with the big Belgians.
That's what I just said to my mom.
Yeah, that was there.
It-
So there you
to
go,
me-
Jade Furman. Oh, Flying
me-
Eagles too. I'm sorry. Again,
I
I got to brag. I probably have maybe 6 or 7 Flying Eagle cents. Rich and Charlie, how about you guys? Doug, you can go to the bathroom for this question if you want.
That's okay.
I have 3 now. Flying
3?
Eagle.
3, I think. Yeah.
3 for
I
Rich.
think I have 3.
3, yeah, I think so. I was going
It's
to
no
say,
secret that the Flying Eagle is Doug's biggest bucket lister, and guys find them all around Doug. And believe me, it's just dumb luck that Doug hasn't swung over it, because he digs all the same signals we would dig. It's just there's a lot of luck involved in this. You know what I mean?
I've got a ton of fatty Indians, but I've never gotten that same signal that turned into a flying eagle.
Yeah.
So,
The best
to
was
me-
when Doug got a permission last year, Rich, and after he got it, he wasn't able to make it to the spot. And I said, Doug, do you want to postpone? And he said, no, you guys go. I'll come next week. So just me and Rich went, and I found 2 Flying Eagles at that spot. And I felt I wanted to call Doug and tell him, but I didn't want to call Doug and tell him.
well,
You
as
know-
it turns out, my wife, because I had foot surgery, my wife drove me over so I could check on you guys. And that's when I found out that you got an eagle. And I couldn't kick you because my foot was in
Yeah.
a cast.
And you sure weren't going to chase me down. That's for sure.
Exactly.
seems to me, since I've been with you guys, that maybe we see about 3 or 4 flying eagles a year and only like 1 Trime.
Yeah, that's probably about accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
It seems to me that whoever gets the permission gets the fewer great finds. Charlie, you can attest to that, right?
Yeah.
You do better on my permissions, and I do better on your permissions. And Rich does great in everybody's.
Rich could go to the moon
Well,
and find good
I-
stuff.
I haven't gotten nearly as many permissions as both of you have, but I still think, like at the horse farm, you know, aside from the crotal bells, Jason found the chime, and I think it carries on with me as well.
Well, I saved those 2 crotal bells for you, Rich.
You did. I wouldn't have found those if you dug deeper.
Yeah, I was so excited to find that one big crotal bell. I just covered up the hole and off I went. And the next week, he goes right back to that hole and gets
2
big
more, and they
crotal
say
bells.
always recheck your holes.
That'll
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
Always recheck the holes.
that'll teach you, Dougie.
All right, let me go on to the next one. But
Jason,
thank
can
you
I
for
say
the
one thing,
question,
Jason?
Jade Furman.
Wait a minute. Charlie wants to say something.
Oh, go ahead, Charlie.
I remember very well you had a half riel that you split in half.
Why
And-
why do you have to bring that up?
Well, because you were very sad about that, but then your next hole you found a beautiful chime.
No, you're right.
Everything.
Those half reals are very thin. And when I was digging it, I must have mispinpointed back when I was a little careless with my pinpointing. I've since corrected that because of that issue. But my shovel went right in. I cut that half real in half. And when I found the first half, I remember calling Doug over all excited saying, Doug, I got a cut real, my first cut real. And then he's like, the edge looks a little shiny. And then I found the other half and I was like, oh, son of a gun.
Jason, we got a super chat from
Oh.
Dan Taraska.
Dan Taraska, thank you. Love the show,
He's got
guys.
a good question.
All right, what's your weirdest find ever? Well, we got to answer that one. Rich, do you have a weirdest find ever?
I was hoping you didn't call on
I
me
won't lead
first.
with you.
I
Doug,
got
What?
weirdest find ever.
Rich.
Rich is your weirdest find ever? I second that.
good answer.
Yeah. My weirdest.
I can think of a couple weird ones you found. I mean, you found that big brass horse that was kind of weird. I mean,
Well, I don't consider that weird. I just consider that a great find.
well, it's odd that someone would lose something the size of a small Volkswagen.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, obviously, for me, I found that witch's spell jar that was filled with the craziest things. There was a raccoon penis. I mean, that's weird. There was the witch urinated in the jar as part of the ritual. There was a hand-drawn astrological map of the stars from the night she did it. That was a really bizarre find. But the more I looked into it and the more I figured out what each thing meant to her, I realized that as crazy as it seemed to me, at least I saw that it wasn't just random. It wasn't like she opened up her junk drawer and just dumped it in there. Like everything had meaning to her. It was well thought out. I just didn't understand it at first. So that was my weirdest find. And, still love that thing. Charlie, how about you? Offhand, do you have a weirdest find?
Well, I don't know if you want to call it weird. I suppose it's kind of an odd bird band with the leg still attached.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if like an animal got it, chewed the leg off, and the band was still on there.
Well, where I found it, I sent the report in, and I got the report back. Where I found it is where it was banned, so it didn't go too far.
Did you get a certificate when you called it in?
Yes. Yeah. The township where I found it, when I got the report back, the knowledge of where it was banned is the same place.
I was just telling Charlie yesterday, I'll share with the group, that when we do find bird bands, often there's a phone number on the bottom, and usually they're for like carrier pigeons or whatever ornithology group is tracking those birds. And if you call the number and say where you found the band, they'll mail you a certificate saying, thanks for helping our study or whatnot. Now, I found a bird band about 3 years ago. It's still in my car, that on the bird band says reward and has a number. Now, this is probably for a scarcer bird or a bird that they're really trying to follow for whatever reason, and there's a monetary reward. And even though I found it 3 years ago, I have yet to call the stupid number. I just keep forgetting. So if anyone out there finds a bird ban, yeah, call the number, get your certificate, because it just looks cool to frame on the wall, and you're contributing to whatever scientific study is going on. I'm looking at the chat. Diana Reed said Jason's Bizarre Spoon. I know what she's talking about. Years ago, in my pre-Doug, that long ago, I found this crazy spoon from the Isle of Man that must have come over with like a settler on the boat from then. And it's got this weird, like, naked imp on the top, and it's all sterling. The handle is like a spiral candy cane. It was really cool. So that was another kind of a weird one.
I was thinking, I don't know if I have a weirdest find, but sometimes, like in the case of Field of 1,000 Holes, the weird part is you don't know what went on there. All the stuff you find just doesn't match what your expectations are, and sometimes that can be weird.
But everything fits in the time frame of late 1800s to 1930, 35. And I think that's weird that you really don't find anything older or newer there.
Right.
And a lot of the things they say Philadelphia on them, coming from so far away. Not that it's that far.
Or Atlantic City. There was a lot of Atlantic City things too.
Yeah.
Rich is referring to the Field of 1,000 Holes, which people might know. I mean, I think I've got over 20 videos from that spot.
I'm sure a lot of people here know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And even though, it's kind of weird because there is that old farmhouse in the front, but none of the finds have anything to do with that farmhouse. And we didn't see any other structures in the field or anything that would account for the literally thousands and thousands of things that we found in this field. So we think that back in the early 1900s up till before World War II, that people were collecting trash from like local schools, restaurants, churches, things like that, sifting it, like at least the big stuff. Like we don't find truck tires and things like that there.
No.
And then throwing all that dirt with small pieces in the field and spreading it around, maybe as fertilizer, maybe as fill dirt, maybe just a place to dump things. And we've literally found thousands and thousands of tokens, buttons, marbles, badges, you name it. It's not the oldest stuff we ever found, but it's just so interesting, the quantity and the uniqueness. And, what I like about it mostly is, when we do these super old places like the Cobb Field, it's super cool to be the first guy to hold something in 300-400 years, but the viewer that watches the video, they can't relate, like they only know what we tell them it is, unless you're a detectorist, you know what I mean? But when we go to the 1,000 Holes field and we find these things from the 1920s or 30s, a lot of people can relate. Oh, my grandmom had one. My dad had that. Like it's more relatable. And I like that because oftentimes the things we find are abstract and the viewer just kind of takes our word for it, where that field, they can contribute. And I see it in the comments. I see like things that spark their memory. And I really like that. I feel like that spot includes people more because it's not so far in the past that it's just untouchable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was the longest explanation for anything I've ever said.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I need to take a breath. Let me catch my breath.
Jason, if I remember, there was one old coin found there. A large cent was found there, if I remember.
There was one half cent that was there, which was a complete anomaly.
Right. That it wasn't part of that trash stuff.
Right. That was the only thing.
Yeah, that was it.
And you had found a token, Charlie, your token was an 1860 coin that was then counter stamped with a store's name and then put out Pear Soap. And when I read up on the history of that,
didn't see
the owner of Pear's Soap
it.
was trying to advertise his soap company.
Right.
So he had the idea of, I'm going to buy, whatever it was, 500,000 coins, counter stamp them and put them out into the public. But at the time, it was illegal to deface British coins. So what he did was he bought coins from neighboring France, which still are legal tender in England, but they weren't the Queen's coins.
Right.
He bought 500,000, brought them in, counter stamped them, and released them out into the masses. And one of those happened to travel over here to the Thousand Holes field, and you plucked it out.
When I found that had Pear's Soap on it, I didn't even know it was a coin. I thought it was a token. You were the one. A couple weeks later, you said you still have that coin or what? I said that token, and you were the one who investigated that it was an actual coin.
Yeah, it was like Napoleon was it Napoleon or like Napoleon II, or if there even was a Napoleon II, I don't know. It was somebody that I wasn't familiar with. I don't know French coins real well.
No.
All right, let me see. I'm going to go to another question, Doug, because I want to try to include the questions. Jason Weir asked if any of us found any Nazi or KKK tokens.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to say, as controversial as that is, yes, occasionally. I found a Klan token once, and believe it or not, I found it in a church, behind a church, which was a church back then. But it's not something that we find super common. I think I don't know if those organizations were big up north as they were down south. I'm not sure. Have you guys found any of that controversial kind of stuff?
Personally,
Go ahead.
Rich,
Go
you're
ahead,
saying
Rich.
no?
I'm just saying no. I don't think I have yet. Anyway,
Doug?
I found at the Thousand Holes field a token that you have now that was kind of racist. It wasn't Ku Klux Klan, but it was
I remember.
the practice of the day at a New Jersey beach town. They only allowed white people to rent or get the discount that they were offering on this token. And it spelled out quite clearly that it was for white people only. As a matter of fact, tell the story of what happened subsequent to that from that town.
Yeah, it was interesting when we find that kind of stuff, I'm certainly not advocating for any of that stuff, but it's still a part of history. So I like to show it. It happened, So I show the token and it said white race only if you wanted to buy one of these properties. And it was for a shore town in New Jersey. Well, the video did really well. So it kind of reaches outside of the detecting community. And someone from the historical society of that town saw the video and they emailed me and said, we had no idea that was part of the history of our town. You're helping us rewrite our town's history because that got swept under the rug. You know what I mean? And things like that are great because, hey, good or bad, you want to know the history of things. That's how you learn. That's how you grow as a person, by knowing what was, and then you can make decisions to change from it. So I was kind of really happy that they're going to use that as a vehicle to, show, look where we came from and look where we are now, kind of a thing.
Yeah,
All right, let's get off the topic though, Doug, because I don't want to dwell on that topic forever.
Okay. You're the
we're hanging out with 334 people now.
Awesome. Rich, can you name them all real quick? Go.
Robert,
You're out of time.
Peters,
You're out of
Tech
time.
Bells, Lewis.
All right, let me see what else we got here. Let me bring up the who's in me what's it thing. I think I have a video for the next find too, and then it's more pictures. So enjoy the next clip, and then we'll come back. And I'll do the full screen thing.
Well,
Leroy is the hot swinger. Man, I can't remember the last time, Leroy, you've been this on fire. He said he's got himself a silver coin. Linda, can you see what it is? There has not been a lot of newer silver in this field. Get you busted out of there. I hope it's something good. I wouldn't even rub it just in case. Oh, it's a Merc. You can rub it like a genie's going to come out. Let me make sure I pause it. I wanted to put the video clip in rather than a photo because it seems that I jinxed both Rich and Leroy in back-to-back clips by telling Rich we got 7 different coppers and then I ruined it for him, and by telling Leroy everything we've been finding is 200 years old and he pulled out a mercury dime. So from this point on, I shut up about what my guesses were. Digging with D's has a comment. Silver is silver, Leroy. Congrats. Yeah, congrats. And Rich is on fire. When is Rich not on fire?
Hey, we were in a great spot.
Yeah, it was. And Leroy, we only dig with Leroy once a year, maybe twice a year. He lives kind of far.
45.
So I'm super stoked when Leroy comes up and has a good day. And he had a phenomenal day. Yeah. He found some amazing buttons. He found a bunch of old coppers. And I believe this may have been his only silver coin, but hey, the hobby is not just silver coins.
I think he found a half cent, which was new to him to find something like that. Bucket lister.
I think it was a farthing. I think he found his first ever farthing.
Yeah. That's right.
That was in the video before this one, so we covered that in the last live stream. But yeah, he had a tremendous day.
Yeah, he did.
I think I have a picture of the back of the coin. There it is. In case you're like at home dying to see the back of that coin, I got you covered. Lynn and Rich, where did you guys go?
We're here.
Sorry, hold 1 second.
What is that thing on the back called?
The feces.
The feces.
Yeah. That's one of those jokes that just never get old, Doug.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. You only hear it from our end.
I don't use it as much, but if you're going to ask me what it's called.
Okay.
It's called, Hit the Mark has a question. I'm looking at the chat. Who found the first piece of gold? I don't know if he means from the farm, but I will say we'll answer it in the way of, do you guys each remember your first ever piece of gold that you ever found in the hobby? Doug, I'll let you go first.
With you or even in
only
in
with
hobby?
me. Your life began when you started going with me.
Oh, okay. So I'm only like 7 years old, right?
You're detecting life.
Yeah. Okay. I found several pieces of gold, mostly rings, but the one that stands out is the one that the young lady must have had her heart broken and buried the ring in a little purse like.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we don't know what happened.
Remarkable.
Somebody purposely got that ring. It was on a necklace. They put it in a ring box, put the box in a Ziploc bag, and buried it. So it was done intentionally. And we don't know if it was like a breakup gone wrong or if it was like maybe someone passed away. You don't really know. You find these things and sometimes you just make up stories in your head.
Sure.
But it was super interesting, and I'm sure there was a real personal touch to that, whoever did it however long ago.
Yeah.
Charlie, how about you? Your first piece of gold you ever dug? And don't forget, we're only mentioning things the audience has seen so far.
My lips are sealed.
Let that be a clue.
Yeah.
My lips are sealed, Jake.
Only the most amazing.
But his Facebook is very active.
Yeah, people can probably see it, but there's a difference between a picture and seeing, the excitement. So I'll skip Charlie for now, but I have a feeling we'll revisit this question for him maybe on the next show. Rich, do you remember your first piece of gold?
So my first one was it's technical because it's that old fountain pen piece that's gold filled. So technically, it's from
That
the
does not count. That does not count.
Okay. So then
Yeah.
it's the thimble, I guss.
Oh, that gold thimble. Now that was gold and silver.
Gold and silver.
Beautiful.
And then
Beautiful.
I don't think that
Yeah,
other
you're right.
thing, the
Yeah.
monogrammed thing hasn't come out.
Yeah, it
So-
hasn't come. All right, shush. Just say the gold thimble and stop.
That's what happens when you have 12 in the can.
I know. Sometimes doing this YouTube thing, we're only like a week ahead, so it gets stressful sometimes. But that field has been so productive and we've since moved on. I probably have 12 videos ready to go. I mean, we could go to Tahiti for 2 months, Doug, and I'm fine.
I
Not
just
that I wanna go to
I'm
Tahiti with
going.
Doug.
I just remembered that silver belt buckle too, with the gold stripes.
Yeah. Well, the thimble was beautiful because it was a sterling silver thimble, and then the bottom of it had a gold band wrapped around that was what, like 18 karat gold?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was able to test it separately because it stuck out a little bit more.
Yeah, you got the best of both worlds there. So, I don't know. Out West Detecting sent $5 super chat. Thank you. Hey, where are you from, Out West Detecting? Get it, Rich? Where are you from?
No, can you explain it?
Yeah, I was insinuating that because his name says Out West, he's no. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, let me bring up the who's me, what's it, and we'll move on down the line. I think I just have pictures now. I won't make people suffer through. Do I have a clip for this one? Yeah, this was a button. I think Rich, did you find this button?
Yeah, the one that Doug can do the butterfly through.
Yeah. I had made a joke that the shank was so big Doug could swim through it. And Jen Nichols also commented she wants to see Doug do the butterfly through that. But you know what, Doug, I thought was interesting when I played the clip back, when I was editing it, I remember saying, Doug could swim through that because I just remembered it was funny to me. But then in the background, when I played it back, I heard Doug say kind of quietly, if I knew how to swim. Is that true, Doug, that you don't know how to swim?
I used to, but now I got to wear a life jacket all the time when I'm on the water.
Wait, how do you used to know how to swim in
How do you lose that?
that's not a thing.
Did you used to know how to ride a bike too?
Oh no, I can still ride a bike.
How do you forget how to swim? That's
You
so
can't,
weird.
you can't drown riding a bike.
Wow. So you did, but you at one point in your life you did know how to swim.
Yeah, I was athletic and I could do a lot of things I can't do now.
So if I threw you in a lake that was 10 feet deep,
You better.
could you tread water or would you just go down?
No, 10 feet, I'm all right. I can bob my way back to the shore.
All right, 12 feet. If it was 12 feet.
What are you trying to kill me?
No, I'm just saying, like, could you swim enough just to survive?
Yeah, just enough to survive.
Oh, okay. I'm not saying like you have to like try out for the Olympics. I'm just saying
No.
like,
No.
would you'd live through the experience?
Yeah, and I don't do the butterfly stroke anymore either.
Wow, I didn't know that. I just assume, I guess in my mind, I assume
It's
that everyone
mostly
knows how to swim. I don't know why.
it's mostly doggy paddle.
Well, as long as you can tread water, I think it's a life skill.
Yeah.
Jason, I have learned that a lot of people actually who grew up in a city never learn how to swim.
Yeah, but
because
Doug grew up in the
they don't-
South. I would have thought he was like in lakes and swimming holes all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
That's when he could swim.
Yeah, but how do you forget how to swim?
He didn't forget. He's just saying that.
Your
You're
body
just saying
gets out
you're
of
physically
shape.
not able to because you kind of lost your muscular body.
Let's change the subject.
Okay.
All right.
Here, we have a good question from Central Pennsylvania Adventures. They say, have you all found any 1600 stuff before the Field of Cobbs?
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Yes,
But-
but it's a lot less though.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think see the 1600s coins are a tricky question because technically, well, not technically, but the King William III halfpenny was made in 1699.
Yeah.
But it was still widely in circulation all the way up through the 1850s. So we do find that William III, which counts for a 1600s coin, but it was still a common coin to see 150 years later. So even though I count that as a 1600s coin, in my mind, when you say a 1600 coin, it doesn't count that coin. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So excluding that coin, I think we've all still found them. I know Doug's found William and Mary's. I found William and Mary's. Charlie found that weird French thing. What was that called?
No, dollar from Holland, 1630, silver dollar.
1630. Rich, you found that Liard.
Yes, in 1650s, and then I did find a William and Mary, but I wasn't with you guys. That was when
Doesn't
I was
count then. Doesn't
I was
count.
on my lunch break at work.
Doesn't count. Yeah, it's too bad. But yeah, I mean, we do, but it's maybe one a year, not counting the William III. We might find one or two a year. Does that sound about right to you, Charlie?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, maybe more than that.
Excluding the past year.
Well, excluding the past 2 months.
Right. But I mean, March last year is when this all began.
Yeah, excluding this field, we average like maybe as a whole group, like 2 a year, maybe, excluding the William III.
2 to 3.
Yeah, if you count the William III, maybe we find 7 because that was a little more common. So yeah, we did find some, but scarce. I mean, you're talking early stuff. Maybe someone that came over at Jamestown, the first real settlement. They were still alive when those coins were made. I mean, you're talking like Salem witch trial. Like the earliest stuff.
And it's kind of the same with the 1720s stuff too, or 17 teens. We find KG1s, but pretty infrequently.
Right.
Yeah. The 2s are really, really common. Well, when I say really common, like I'm not saying they're common, like we find a gazillion of them, but if we find a large penny, there's a good chance that it could be a KG2. Same reason, it's circulated all the way up to 1850. But the KG3, we don't find as many of, even though they're newer. And I think that's because once we seceded and fought them off and became our own country, we didn't want those coins coming over anymore. We wanted our own thing. So even though King George III reigned up to I think the 1830s, it's very rare that we find a KG3 that's in the 1800s. You know what I mean? We just didn't want that money around anymore. So at least that's my rationale of why we very rarely find later KG3s, but we find a ton of early 3s, 2s, and even more 1s than those later 3s. All right. Before I move on, I'm going to do some hellos, Doug, because I like to do the hellos.
Yes.
Jim Hunt, flatbed trucker. I see Lee Babcock. I think Turd Ferguson, one of my new best friends, Turd Ferguson.
Hey, Turd.
Detect Dig Smile, Jersey Ray Diggs, Rachel Johnson, D&G Detecting, Greg Sabo, John Legg, Patrick Parker. I think you got him earlier. Amanda Collins, John Tennyson, Gopher Bill, Tommy Boy, 3D, Scott Ellis, Dave Efren, Practical Ken, Adrian Tucker, Orchid Lady, I think it says Orchid, Okie Coin Hunter,
Technician from Ireland.
Jersey History Hunter. I'm sorry, Rich. I just wanted to get some names in. Stuck in Trees. That's a funny name, Rich. Stuck in Trees. What's the one I always like, Rich? The funny one that comments on Lynn. I think I have a comment from them later. I forget. It always cracks me up, their name.
Well, I like Clem Fandango.
Clem Fandango is good.
Who I haven't seen yet tonight.
He's from Wales, isn't he?
Say hi
wait.
if you're here, Clem.
I'm going to give the people a real quick exclusive, Rich. Now, I didn't announce it yet on the channel, but I had an idea of offering people to submit their nicknames for Lynn. And then we would pick the best one. I didn't even tell Lynn yet. And I got the idea because after last Thursday's show, I had a flood of Lynn nicknames. And I went through them, and a lot of them were like, oh, that's cute. I'll never use it, though. But there were some that I thought were really funny. And I mean, I called Doug. I was rolling on the floor laughing. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use them or not yet, but I thought I'd share two of the funniest ones that I remember. And one of them Lynn didn't get when I told her. She didn't understand. So I'm going to see if the people at home get it. One of the nicknames was, and I got to say it slow because it's a mouthful. One of them was Baberham Lincoin. I thought
I get it now.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, it just flows.
Baberham Lincoin. The other one was the statuesque Linberty. Another
so
one.
easy to say.
Right.
Well, you know, when I do the intro of the show, if anyone's seen it, you know, I have the nickname list memorized at this point. You know what I mean? I go right down the line. Charlie the Hydraulic Hunter, Rich Van Winkle, Dog Tag Doug, Mexican Doug, Jane Fox. You know, like I just knock them out. But if I have to say like Baberham Lincoin, I'm going to stumble. So I'd have to probably practice in the mirror, you know?
I want to see that.
Can you videotape you practicing?
Yeah.
I'm going to open it up to a contest in the next week or two. And then whoever picks the nickname that we love the most and wind up using, we'll mail them some sort of awesome prize.
And it does have to do, keep in mind, Lynn with antiques and metal detecting
history.
Yeah, we wanted to. Yeah, it's got to fit in somehow. Now the Baberham Lincoin, it's a loose connection, you know. Lincoln.
Well, that's both. I mean, coins. Abraham Lincoln. We see him every time.
Like that's why it was funny, but it fit.
It was clever.
The statuesque Linberty, I thought was funny because you know Liberty's on a lot of coins. Like I'm giving loose connections. I'm allowing the loose connections. All right, let me bring up the next thing. Doug, are you awake over there? Doug, can you hear me?
I'm awake.
Oh,
okay. So make sure you're awake.
Yes.
Is Doug delayed?
I don't know if Doug's delayed or not. I just think he may have fallen asleep. All right, I'm just going to randomly go through some of the cool coins that we found. Again, these were all after Charlie left. This was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We'd already pulled 8 coppers out of the ground. We already pulled the silver hammered groat that Charlie found. After Charlie thought he wiped the place out, he left. We kept going, and the day just kept going too. So this was
groat took off.
Yeah, we called Charlie deep groat.
Jason, I'd like to know one thing since I wasn't there.
Yeah.
How far away was this area that you found all these other things after I left? How far away was it?
We were in the same area.
It wasn't far.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when you're finding the stuff that we're finding at this field, we are crawling along like toddlers. You know what I mean? Like, because at this field, and you'll see it more in the upcoming videos, once we found a pocket of stuff, it literally, like, you know, on my machine, you know, a lot of spots I might block out like 0 through 6. I don't want to hear it. It's never any good. But at this spot, I was digging 5s and 6s and getting broken pieces of shoe buckle, tiny little buttons. Like, this spot is everything you dig. Once in a while, you might get some modern aluminum from the farmer throwing a can out of the side of the tractor. But almost everything we were finding 250 years old or older. Like, so we were digging every signal. I don't care what the number was. I don't care if it was scratchy. If my machine made a beep, the shovel was going in the ground. And we were finding some wicked cool stuff.
Some of the best things I found there were terrible sounding sounds.
Yeah, terrible. You know, we were joking that all the Spanish hammered cobs we found were hitting about a 32. which is kind of like a junky midtone. And honestly, in any other field we go to, a 32 very rarely equates to a good find, maybe a button once in a while. Now, we'd probably dig it, but no coins come up that we've ever found before. Maybe a button. 32 in my mind is probably going to be a shotgun head stamp, something like that. But a 32, 33 is what these hammered cobs were ringing up. So we were more excited to hear that mid-tone than we were about a high tone that might be a large cent, because we were really hoping for more hammered coins. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of
Well,
depends
like-
on where we are.
When I first started to hunt at that spot, Rich told me to dig every signal,
Go
Yeah.
slow, dig everything.
and I did, and it paid off.
Yeah, and I'm not one of those guys that, in the detecting world, like the catchphrase is like, dig everything. And I'm not going to say don't. But if you dig everything, a lot of spots, you won't make it 5 feet from your car and you're going to leave with Santa Claus sacks full of garbage. Like you have to let the machine give you some information so you have a successful day. You can't just dig everything.
Yeah.
But at this field, it's an exception. Once in a while we hit a field where there's very little modern trash and you literally do dig everything. It really applies at this field.
And I'll tell you what, the place in that field where we didn't dig everything is next to the road.
Yeah, a lot
we
of
really
crap.
ought to do that,
Yeah.
because some of them are going to be surprising.
Well, I'm telling you, I think we should all pony up $100 and pay that farmer to disc that field and churn it up a little bit.
In a second.
Charlie offered to drive the tractor, didn't you, Charlie?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I don't know how to drive a tractor. Doug, could you drive a tractor if you had to?
Oh, sure.
No,
I was
you.
raised driving tractors.
You what?
The drive on.
I was raised
Dang.
riding mules and driving tractors.
Is there a chance that you could have maybe forgotten how to drive the tractor?
No, it's not like swimming.
Okay.
You're the
You're
only one here,
collective
Jay, that
forgetting. I
can't
get it.
drive a tractor.
All right, let's see what else we got. So this was, I don't even know who dug this. It was just, I'm just trying to show some of the other coins we found. There was that.
That looks like a Liberty cap
No, it looks like a matron head to me.
or matron. Yeah.
I guess I put this comment up there for Kernowek Tim. Is that how you pronounce that, Rich? Kernowek?
That's what it looks like.
All right. You said you found yourself a good one or something. All the best. He's from over the pond, Rich. So shout out to Kernowek Tim.
I'm
Oh,
really.
he's
It makes me really happy that
Yeah.
people from across the pond watch. I mean, I know metal detectorists are just into this, but they find stuff thousands of years older than we do.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
still enjoy watching us.
Plus,
So
it's the
thank
middle.
you.
It's the
you
middle of the
know, and-
night over there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they watch it like when the video first airs, but
Well, there's some people on now, from Ireland and from.
that's
It's
true.
$5.
I mean, no, I'm very appreciative. I mean,
Yeah.
the detecting community,
Those clowns.
we're an odd niche thing. So we usually tend to stick together. It's not for everybody. But
It's 1:00 there, Jason.
1:00 in England.
We're in
Well,
Wales.
thank you guys
Inside.
for coming in. Oh, and I see Mud SWAT, who's in there too, and Philip Michaels and Ron Hall. Just shameless plugs to some names I saw. Let me see what else I got. What I try to do is, as I throw some pictures up, I try to showcase some of the comments because I like to get people's names out there. The point of the after show is I wanted to interact with the chat, address more comments and things like that, because it's a challenge to reply to every single comment because, I got a job, full 40-hour-a-week job and a family and kids, and I'm trying to edit, and you just run out of time. You run out of time. So I try to use this avenue as a way to, verbally give thanks. I just don't have time. I'm not a fast typer. You know how long it takes me to reply to 400 comments? Like, I just can't get it done. But don't think I don't appreciate it. I do.
Hey, Jay.
Yo,
Guy Leborek asked, do you guys ever have friendly contests between yourselves for things like most Indians, most silver, most quarters, whatever?
What's in the clump?
You bet your butt we do.
Yeah.
I think we should more though.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's
Jay
funny
never
though is
pays up.
a lot of times we do it. We'll say like, you know, oldest wheat penny wins, most Indians. And we always say like, all right, the winner has to buy Rita's water ice, which is a big regional. If you don't know what water ice is, it's like a icy dessert.
It's like a snow cone, but a little bit different.
Snow cone.
But
The
better.
last time I said Rita's water ice, like 90% of the chat had no idea what I was talking about. I didn't realize that water ice is a regional word.
Yeah.
How many people in the chat, I'm curious, knows what water ice is? If I were to say water ice,
They wouldn't know that.
let me see what they say. I'm curious. Oh, I thought somebody popped in.
You mean water ice?
What did I say?
No, I'm
You
just
said-
kidding. Because people in Philly, everybody always says that we say
We're
water.
water ice.
Oh, okay.
Water ice.
Oh, see, I'm
Water.
seeing no clue. Dave Efren, no idea. The technician, no idea. Turd Ferguson, you don't know Turd? Yes, I see a lot of people don't know. Greg Ball, Jersey History Hunter does because she's from Jersey.
Right.
But yeah, I guess it's a regional thing. I didn't realize that. But if you know what a snow cone is, and I don't even have to know what a snow cone is, but think like if you got like an ice cube and you shaved it so it was real fine, and then you put those shavings in a cup, and then you put like a sugary liquid in it,
A
like
flavored
a
syrup.
like a syrup, and then all the ice kind of absorbs that syrup, and you drink up. I'm making it sound disgusting, but it's really good.
It's very
Similar-
good. Very
similarly
refreshing
would
on a
be-
hot day.
Would be
I'm not doing it
Slurpees,
justice.
Slurpees or slushies or
Yeah, it's kind of like
Italian
a Slurpee.
ice or
Yeah, if people have 7-Elevens, yeah, it's like a snow cone. Do you remember the Snoopy snow cone machine, Doug, from the 70s?
Sure.
You put an ice cube in, you get a snow cone out. Remember that was the jingle. Fun, fun, fun is what it's all about.
Everybody seems to know what a Slurpee is.
She plugged
Yeah.
for the Snoopy snow cone machine. I think
Yeah.
they still make them.
Okay, the heck with that.
But yeah,
Slurpee, everybody knows what a Slurpee is. This
all right,
is
it's kind of like a Slurpee, only better.
only better.
Yeah. A Slurpee is like the stepchild of a Rita's water ice.
I want to thank Teresa, the
For
treasure
what?
hunter, our friend Teresa. She says, y'all like Doug's background? It's on his t-shirts too. Let him know if you want to buy one.
Oh, there you go. Good plug for
He's doing
Doug.
my huckstering for me.
Doug is doing the virtual background today, and it looks good. And Doug, move your real body to the side so they can see the virtual background.
well, he needs to.
It's blown up a lot, but that the back of Doug's shirt has this dog, and there's more to it. And then around the dog's neck is like a Mr. T collar of like 500 dog tags that Doug found in the past. And Doug has that as a shirt for sale. What's on the front of that shirt, Doug?
Well, now I have shirts with the logo on the front or on the back. And I have a couple left that have quarter hoarder crew up on above the breast pocket and the logo on the back.
All right, so shameless plug. If anybody wants a shirt from Doug, they can email Doug directly after the show. Doug, what's your email?
DNJ3357@gmail.com.
All right, DNJ and a bunch of numbers. Doug, if you type it in the chat, they can read it because I already forgot it.
Okay.
Type it in, and then they can email you if anybody wants a Dog Tag Doug, Mexican Doug, Jane Fond Doug shirt, and you're officially part of the crew.
Yeah.
Doug, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Is there a reason you went with that dog for the design instead of like a poodle or a chihuahua or something?
Well, a poodle or a chihuahua doesn't bring out the manliness that the
He's not
wolf look does.
good choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have done the same thing.
And it just so happens why I picked that actually, excuse me, the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017. And prior to going to the Super Bowl, the Philadelphia Eagles were considered underdogs. So one of the players who happens to share my last name, Lane Johnson, he put together this look, and they sold a gazillion of those masks. Now, when I bought it and had Jay do the picture for me, Jay almost suffocated me because it took about 20 minutes to get it just right. And he didn't realize how I couldn't breathe in that thing. But
did you tell him you couldn't breathe?
He had to give me mouth to mouth, and that's what he was hoping for.
He thought it was mouth to mouth. I just put a Hoover vacuum cleaner up to his face and turned it on. He came back fine. Yeah, I mean, even though it looks like it's just a picture of a dog mask, that was actually a photograph that we took of Doug in this rubber mask in the middle of the summer, and with all the chains on. And but hey, you know, it's a cool look. All right, Doug's email is now in the chat. If anybody wants him, email him after the show, and now, you guys can work it out.
I just have to say, I'll do anything for a laugh for the sake of the channel, but Jay always takes it to the extreme, like just this close to dying. We'll get a good laugh out of it.
Here's my thing, and you know, and it's no secret really, but you know, when it comes to the metal detecting, I love doing it. Love it, love it, love it. You know, after all these years, I still get excited every hole, every beat. But I find that for the viewer, it might not always be exciting, just the detecting aspect. It's like watching golf or something. Like, it's fun to do, but it's not always fun to watch someone else do.
Yeah.
So I tried to think of ways to make it more watchable. And if that's like telling jokes and trying to be funny, or doing little games and having nicknames or something to carry the downside in between finds, that's my angle. Like, that's what I try to make it. I always call it, I try to make it watchable, because it's not easy. And you know, listen, hey, we're fortunate to detect in really good areas and find good stuff. But some weeks we don't find the best stuff. But if I base the channel around the fun and the jokes and all the other stuff, the finds are almost secondary. You know, the finds are just a catalyst for the next goofy jokes. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I try to frame the show, because there's no guarantee we're going to find great stuff every week. So you got to have a different angle. And I try to do it with humor, because that's just who I am. You know, I try to smile through life.
I'm still seeing comments this week about the coin I found, the deep
throat. Right. Charlie found a groat. I don't even know. Before you found that coin, Charlie, I don't even know if I heard of the word groat, like as far as a coin goes. Didn't know what it was. Yeah. Turns out it's like a 2 pence or a 3 pence or 2 pence. I don't even know. But when I saw it was a groat and Charlie had to dig down for it, I mean, that's how my mind works. I nicknamed Charlie Groat. And if you go back and watch that video, I had to cut it up because Charlie was laughing so hard. That clip went on too long. So I had to kind of cut it up and piece it together, because as funny as it was, I didn't want the viewer to watch like 50 seconds of us just laughing. But
they are now, though.
You got to have a group of guys and girls like we put together that I love all these people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so comfortable. You can let your guard down. You can have fun. And that's really the magic. You know what I mean? Like, that's really the magic, is having a super good group that you get along with, you're problem free, and it's so much easier to have a good time when you like everybody and you're super happy for them when they find that cool thing. And then hopefully they'll be happy for you when you find the good thing. Now, Rich finds a good thing way too much, but we pretend to be happy for it.
Yes.
Everybody finds something good every time.
All right, if that's
I
what
just
you
dig
say.
more holes.
Well, actually, Rich, yesterday, only Doug found good things. Me and Charlie just got a cold and got all muddy. All right. Well, you know what I will say, Rich, the one good thing about yesterday, other than Doug, is even though it was rainy and muddy and we didn't find a darn thing, and we didn't realize going there that the farmer had just plowed and planted the day before. So we all
The
pulled
hot
up.
spot.
Yeah, I mean, saw the field and we were like, oh crap. We only had then a very tiny section. So, but we tried to make lemonade out of lemons, did the area we could. But the good
It paid
thing
off
about
for
it-
one of you.
well, the best thing about it was when we got done, walked back to the trucks, we were hanging out talking, and coincidentally, the farmer pulled up. So, of course, we were talking to him for a good 45 minutes. And then we didn't even ask, but the farmer said to us, oh, guys, I have another field, 50 acres. You're welcome to it. And I said, oh, did you plant that one yet? He said, no, I won't plant that for about 4 weeks. So we got another spot, 50 acres. So even though yesterday was a bust, it opened the door because I like to think we're all good communicators. We're very friendly. And we have that rapport that guy was nice enough to offer it to us without us saying, hey, do you happen to have other land? Like it was handed to us on a plate.
Yeah, that's great. 50 acres is huge. And
yeah, Doug and I drove over there at the end of the day. It's real flat. It's just got a light cover crop, sandy soil, easy digging.
Maybe
so we're going to
he dumped
research
the
it.
same.
I'm going to send the address to Rich.
Maybe
Look on
the
old
same
map.
soil was
Hopefully a
dumped
house
on.
was there. And then boots on the ground.
Yeah, can't wait.
And super nice farmer.
Yeah, he is. Super nice. And 50 acres right along the road. It's flat. It's the same kind of soil that we have at 1,000 holes. We just got to hope that it's got the same kind of finds that we've been fortunate.
If we open up
find.
another, if it's like another 1,000 holes, it's going to be crazy.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Like a brand new.
Can you imagine, Doug, if it's that good? Like I would have 23 videos in the hole. Like I could just take off a year. Like the next time they see a noob video, like you've got a beard like Rich. You know? All right, let me get back to the thingamahogger. Rich, keep your eyes out for any questions if need be.
Well, I saw one. I know
Oh.
you've addressed it in the past, but are you and Doug going to Oklahoma this year?
Oh, Doug, we were going to record something this weekend for Tuesday's video of upcoming events that we're going to because the event season's starting and we're starting to book some events. I know we're going to Doug and I are going to one in Missouri in like the first weekend of April. What's the event called, Doug? The Show Me? Doug, I think Doug locked up. I think it's called the Show Me event, and that's in April. Doug, if you can hear me, you're locked up. I'll kick you out and come back in. All right, I just kicked Doug out. He'll come back in on the link.
That's better.
I kept thinking Doug was ignoring me, but I think his virtual background was...
He was frozen.
Yeah.
Let me see if he's back.
Uh-oh.
All right, you're back. Doug, you might have to turn that virtual background off. I think it's hot. It's bogging down your processor. But yeah, April, the Show Me Hunt in Missouri. The same week Doug and I are going down there, the Come Out Swinging event is happening in Pennsylvania. So Charlie's going to that. I don't know if you're going to that too, Rich.
Oh, I didn't know about it, but I will.
Maybe you can go to that with Charlie.
Send me the details if you can, Charlie.
Okay.
Yeah, this Tuesday's video, I'm going to try to record it Saturday and I'll add it in. I'll have the dates, the websites that everyone can get more information. You know, the Show Me Hunt in Missouri, it's his first year doing it, but it's very well organized. The area sounds great, like 200 people. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Come Out Swinging event, always really good. It's in Charlie's area. You know, it's colonial, historic. The organizer, Robert, really nice guy. They have vendors there. You won't go wrong. That's a really fun hunt.
George Washington was found at last event.
Yeah, someone dug up George Washington's corpse at the last event. You really have.
It did sound like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it sounded like that's what you're saying.
he was found.
So yeah, we're doing that in April. And then there's another one in May, Detecting the Heartland. We're going to. And then there's one. I just got emailed about one in Oklahoma. The second week of April or the third week, I forget. I'm not sure about that one yet. I have to check. There's one in Arkansas. I'm going to have a whole list on Tuesday. I don't know who all from our group is going yet, but one of us will be at these various events. Usually two of us at least, but we'll see. Peg Leg Detecting, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. He put it in there. The Show Me Pro-Am Treasure Hunt in Missouri. They call it Pro-Am, like professional and amateur, but not that there's a difference. I think the pro means that, like, I forget what it is, but you could be brand new to detecting and you're going to have the same chance I do. You know, you're just going out. I know it's all natural, but I think he has some seated sections. I'll have the link in Tuesday's video. You can check it out, see the flyer, read all about it. It should be a heck of a good time. And Doug and I are going to be there. Come on, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
And you know what's super cool about that event, Doug?
What's that?
We're going to be there in this little town in Missouri, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now that Monday, there is like some crazy, like total lunar eclipse. It happens like once every, 300 years, whatever. And the perfect line to totalitarianism or whatever they call it goes right over this little town in Missouri. So we're having such a hard time finding lodging because every astronomy person in the country is going to this little town the same weekend for this solar eclipse. So if you do go, you're going to have that little extra bonus. I've never seen that eclipse. Is that the thing where you can't look at it with your naked eye or it blows your eyeballs out?
Well, I think that's the eclipse of the sun.
I don't know. I don't know anything about eclipses. But yeah, so I'll have Tuesday's video will be more because I can't put up links and all that in this.
Right.
Dan Tereska said it's a solar eclipse. He might be right. I have no way to verify that.
Jay,
Someone's texting me too. They're probably telling me that I'm right or wrong.
Jason, you going to meet up with Jeff Ford and Mikey out there?
Well, I mean, I told Jeff Ford. Mikey's going to be there with our buddy Wes at the event. I think Jeff Ford said he might not be able to come. I told him about it. I'm hoping he can make it. Missouri's a bigger state than New Jersey. I think the event is still like 4.5 hours from Jeff. So that's a heck of a drive. He runs his own business. So I'm hoping we can see him, but I don't know yet. But I know Missouri Mike will be there with our buddy Wes.
Lips glasses.
Another guy who I got a picture of him coming up. I think is going to be there. So we will see. Oh, and Dan clarified too. It's called the path of totality. So like if you live in this path, that means you have the perfect angle of the eclipse. Where if you live outside of the path, like you're looking at it from over here, so you don't really see it in the same way. But if you are in that path, which we'll happen to be in at this event, boom, like you get the whole kit and caboodle, Doug.
Hey, Jason Weir wants to know, out of all of us, who has the oldest dog tag find?
Well, I guess he means that you had to dig it up because I know everyone and their mother mails you dog tags. They don't count.
Yeah.
I
think
might
it's
still be you. Rich, what's your oldest dog tag?
I can't remember the exact date. I think it's early 1900s. Maybe
Well, this is a date question. You got to be specific.
I want to say it's after 1910 and before 1930. but I
With a
know
big range.
Mirror down.
it's all I can remember. But I know Doug found one.
Doug, I don't remember mine, but I know it was sometime after 1730.
Okay.
I just don't remember when.
Come on, 20 years. I gave you a 20-year range.
Charlie, how about you? Your oldest dog tag?
Well, I remember it very well, to be honest with you. That's kind of strange, isn't it? That I would remember.
Not so much. When you find it, it's exciting.
My father was born in 1908, and I found a dog tag 1908.
Oh, okay. That's a nice old one.
Okay.
My oldest one is actually 1910, so you beat me.
Mhm.
But I know Doug has the record out of all of us, so go ahead and brag, Doug.
Okay.
Oldest dog tag.
1899.
And that's so impressive because dog tags in 1899, even though some ordinances said you had to register your dog, back then people weren't following that rule.
No.
Come make me register my dog.
Yeah. However, when I did the research on dog tags, they go back to the mid 1700s in this country. So there's a real good possibility we'll be able to hit that.
I
And
see
that
a
would be-
question.
That's
A question from Tufel Hundred wants to know who would win in an arm wrestling contest, Rich or Lynn. Can we do a live showing of the arm wrestling?
Really?
definitely Lynn.
We might have to get ready for that for the next live.
All right, we'll prepare. We got to get the official
We're
table
using an
and the whole
iPad
thing.
here, and it's not.
Richard wants to work out. Like he's got to win. Like you
Yeah.
can't
I gotta
lose,
get ready.
Unfair.
Yeah.
So tune in a future episode for the winner. Oh, and Wicked Digger, our buddy Chris, moderator number 3, made it. Thank you very, very much, Chris. And Luis Villarreal,
Villarreal.
dog tax tag. We count that with
We
dog
count
tag.
that. Yes.
Yeah, they're one and the same.
That could actually be kind of fun if we did a quarter hoarder arm wrestling contest.
Listen, I'm not bragging like I'm strong or anything like that, but I will say
That's why it would be fun,
I've always
'cause
been
none
very
of us-
good at arm wrestling. A lot of it's technique. I lock my shoulder in. My oldest son, he's like a weightlifting guy. He's real strong, stronger than me at this point. But even though he can bench press way more than I ever could, I can still hold him at arm wrestling. But usually at this point he wins.
Yeah.
But I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm decent. Doug, how are you at arm wrestling?
Well, like everything else, I'm slowing down and don't have the strength that I used to.
Would
But
you do an over the top, like hit the mark set and like do the turn your hat around, you know? Yeah, like Sylvester Stallone did.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
that
just
really
lost 10
adds,
years, Doug.
that adds a
Yeah,
lot
you look
of
10 years
strength.
deeper.
Yeah.
10 years younger, I mean.
Deeper.
You can see the bald spot right here.
I'm tired of
Not
work
there
all day.
yet.
Charlie, were you ever a good arm wrestler?
Sure he was.
The days when we used to put over 1,000 bales of hay away on
Yeah.
the farm, I was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably had that natural farm strength, right?
I have pictures of it, yes.
Yeah. I believe it. I believe it. Those farm boys, they're deceptively strong.
That's what got me my wife. She
Yeah.
saw that. Saw all that.
And
What did
Lynn, you were
Oh.
an Olympic power lifter, weren't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I thought back in the day she was.
Yep. You never heard of me, huh?
Yeah. She went under an alias.
Charlie beat his wife in arm wrestling, so she married him.
Lynn was actually born Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That is not a new nickname.
No, that's not a new nickname. That's not a nickname. That was a one-off.
That's going to be the one that sticks.
No, I can't. Have
guarantee
that. That's a,
Oh, great.
all right. Let me bring up. Well, I'm never gonna get done. I'm never gonna get done this one.
Get that picture off there.
Yeah. Let me see what I got next. I don't even remember what it is. This is another close-up of the same matron head that we found. Oh, this was a nice find. I think it's a little. I think I have a little video clip right here.
It's the
And then I'll bring it up. Bang. And the comment I pinned was from Team Lynch. Team Lynch, I don't know if you're still here. I thought the comment was a little strange. The comment says, Rich is hot. Love the Jackson button. Now, Rich didn't find this button, so I was really confused.
Yeah, it's odd. Maybe they
But
just mean I'm a good
I
metal.
know Team Lynch personally, So they probably thought you found the button. But this was an Andrew Jackson campaign button from the Whig Party dated 1834. And the reason I know so much about it as soon as he showed it to me is because I found the same exact button last year at that permission. Remember when the guy had the old spring house where the date stone fell down and me and him rummaged through and found it? Well, I found this same Andrew Jackson button there. So, once you find something and research it, if you see another one in any state, you're going to instantly recognize it because it's like you're married to this thing. You know what I mean? Like, so what a great find there from Leroy. Very cool button. I thought I saw Team Lynch commented on their Rich's Hot thing. I'd love an explanation for that, but love the Team Lynch is in the chat. Awesome people. Make sure you check out their website. They'll probably put a link in there. Let me see what else I got. Here's a picture. This is a picture from the Alberts historical book of American. Good luck even saying the name of the book, but you could see the picture, which I believe is one of them.
Team Lynch just wrote a response.
Oh, Team Lynch said, "No, I was behind the video commenting on an earlier find, but Rich is kind of hot." Or cute. I'm sorry. Now I don't know if that's Tim Lynch writing that or not. So we'll have to revisit that later. All right, let me see. But that's Leroy's incredible button. Even though the George Washington inaugural button gets all the praise, the Andrew Jackson one is probably the second most desirable of the presidential buttons. Because I don't know if Abe Lincoln had one. I don't know if they were still doing political buttons. Maybe they were. I don't know anyone that ever found an Abe Lincoln button.
No.
All right, let's see what else we got here.
The Abe Lincoln button is definitely on my list for sure.
There is an Abe Lincoln button?
Yeah.
What is it? I've never seen it.
I don't know. I can't remember. You just have to look it up. But
I'll have to look it up.
A lot of presidents had campaign buttons and pins and patches and.
Well, I'm sure they all had them, but I guess they're not as famous in my mind as the GW buttons and then the Andrew Jackson buttons.
Right.
Maybe because they were just so early. I never heard of anyone finding a Thomas Jefferson button or a John Adams button. If they do have them, like they're just not. I never hear anyone saying they found one. It's on their bucket list. None of that stuff. Oh, and in the chat is Robert Thiessen. Again, he is the guy that runs the Come Out Swinging event. Robert, Tuesday, we're going to get a link to your hunt so people can sign up. Thanks for coming in. Here's another copper. I don't remember what this is, Rich. I mean, it looks like it might be it looks like it's the back of a KG. I think that's Britannia. I don't even know. I don't even know. Let me see. I think I usually put a picture of both sides. Maybe it'll make sense. Oh, there's a comment from Wildman Diggin. He hoped to see us on the quarter after show. I hope he's in the chat then. Wildman Diggin. Even the front, I'm not 100% sure. It looks like it's a KG2. What do you think, Rich?
It looks like a crusty old coin.
I see the top of the head and the little Buster Poindexter hair that sticks up that George II had.
It looks like that.
More like the reverse than the obverse.
No, I think it's the obverse if we're going to use fancy terms.
Big words.
I like to use front and back, but Doug likes to use those real sophisticated numismatic terms.
For whatever reason, you like saying backside.
I do like saying. I like saying like, "Oh, Doug's got a dirty backside." That's so much funnier than Doug's got a dirty reverse. What does that mean?
Both are funny, I think.
Yeah. Or like, Charlie, come on, you got to clean your backside. Come on, that's funny.
If you say so.
All right, let
Jason,
me keep going.
Jason,
Yo,
Lee Babcock wants to know about cleaning the coins after we brush them on the video.
oh, well, I mean, honestly, I don't always know what happens. I try to get them cleaned enough so that I could film it and I could at least be able to show the viewer what it is. Even if I have to put a picture of a clean one next to it and you just see some of the silhouette. Now, once the clip's done and Doug takes the coin home, or Charlie or Rich or whoever's there, I don't always know. It's not like they update me with cleaning throughout the weeks. So of all the coins you bring home, Charlie, how many do you actually go through the process of really trying to restore it?
Well, of course, the nicer ones I work at and try to clean them up. I usually toothpick them up, get that dirt off. And then I don't do much more than that anymore. I used to put one time.
I'm sorry, Charlie. Hold on. Team Lynch gave a super chat. Thank you very much, Team Lynch. And they are both red hot. So thank you, guys. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Charlie.
That's all right. But I don't clean them like I used to. I used to clean them up and put a light coat of Vaseline on them or oil. I don't even do that anymore. I just clean them up with the toothpick the best I can. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, Rich, do you oh, and real quick, I'm sorry. Ken King, Adventures in Dirt, he said that he's doing his podcast right now and watching our live stream. It's funny, Doug, is I was on the phone for work today, and sometimes I hold my phone like this, if I need my hands.
Yes.
And when I was holding it like this, my cheekbone accidentally called Ken King while I was on the phone, and it conferenced the two together. Nice. And I didn't realize it because it was on my neck. And then I looked down and I see that I FaceTimed Ken King in a conference call. And I was like, oh, crap. And I hung up. So I had to message him real quick. Sorry, Ken. I did this weird butt dial thing with my face.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, does that constitute a butt dial?
I don't know what you call that. I've never had it happen before.
Well, your face, yes.
Like, not only did I face butt call him, but then I conferenced him in with like a work call. Thank God he didn't answer and he was like naked or something.
I'm sure he'd answer if he was naked.
Jason.
Yeah.
Next Thursday this time, Joe Hollywood Joe, Teresa, KK, and I will be on his podcast.
Oh, on Ken King's podcast.
Yeah,
cool.
That's called Relics Radio.
Yes.
You have to get the it's called the Spreaker. You can get the app, or you can go to the Spreaker website. Kind of like the word speaker, only there's an R in there. Spreaker, and then you look up Relics Radio. You will see the show on there. And that airs Thursday nights at what's it like 8 o'clock?
I think it's 8 o'clock.
You wait, so next week we're off. We don't do our live show we do it every other. So we won't be here. So all of us and everyone out there watching, if you jump into the Spreaker, Doug and I and Rich, we'll try to all be in the chat too, and we'll have a good time and disrupt Ken's podcast.
It's basically about our England trip.
Okay.
KK and I, we were in England together, and that's mainly what the podcast will be about, what we found, so forth and so on.
Charlie, you found more hammered coins in this field in Jersey than you did on your whole trip to England.
I know.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
That yellow brick road.
Oh, Teresa, the treasure hunter, put a link to the Spreaker in there. And if you don't know Ken, awesome guy. He's got a YouTube channel too, Adventures in Dirt. He does like weekly recaps of the coolest finds in the metal detecting world that he, scavenges the site for. So good dude, check him out. And again, Ken, and I apologize for the butt face style thing. All right, let's see what else we got.
Jason, Silver King Vince wants to know, what are each of our what do we want to find this year? Now, Doug, I know you would want to get your Flying Eagle this year, so that's kind of an easy question, but what do we want to find?
Charlie, what do you want to find? What's your bucket list thing?
Oh, Jason, George Washington.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
3 of them were found on my permissions already. I
Yeah.
gotta get one.
Hey, shout out again to the Come Out Swinging event. One was found at Robert's event, the last event they had.
Right.
So definitely
My
opportunity
my
there.
front yard, near my front yard.
So George Washington button for Charlie. I know the Flying Eagle scent for Doug, which is honestly more obtainable out of those two.
Yeah.
Rich, what's your bucket lister?
Well, obviously, also a GW button.
Oh. You and Charlie are going to have to arm wrestle
Well,
for it.
his bucket lister was a cap bust dime. We
Yeah.
talked about it the night before he found one.
And then he found one a week later for 2
Found one.
cap bust dime in 2 weeks.
Well, I'd have to say I'd like to find anything capped or seated that isn't a dime or that isn't a half dime.
Well, that's my bucket lister is a
Yeah.
cap bust quarter.
quarter.
But I've
The
never
whole
found.
quarter.
What's that?
The whole quarter.
Yeah, one time years ago. Did I know you, Rich, at the time?
No.
Yeah, that was early on.
Okay, early on. We were doing a farm field, and I found a piece of a cap bust quarter. The plow hit it, cut the coin in half, and I found just a tiny little sliver. But the sliver I found had the date, so I knew it was 18. It was like 1835. I knew it was a cap bust coin, and I had enough of the sliver to match it up. Or no, it was 1830. I could tell by the angle of the circumference that it was too big for a dime.
Right.
But because it was such a small piece, I don't count it. And I called all the guys over, and we all like covered that whole area to try to find the other half. And I said, "Hey guys, I found the date, so I should get it if you find them."
That's
But
about
none
three.
of us
That's
found
about 3 years ago, wasn't it, Jason?
It was probably 3 or 4 years ago, I thought.
That.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
That was on Nelson's, and
That's right.
that's now a community.
It's a whole neighborhood with houses, and that whole farm's gone.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, I see in there Guy Laboric is giving a shout out to the Ultimate Finds Box, who we deal with a lot. He actually sponsored one of our early giveaways. Yeah, Ultimate Finds Box has, I don't have one in front of me. I do have this though. We keep all our finds in there throughout the day. It's awesome. This is like this little cool coin cleaning vise that I also use. So awesome, dude. If you want to keep your coins and buttons safe, make sure you check out the Ultimate Finds Box. It really is the ultimate finds box.
Richard B wants to know what our regular day jobs are.
Oh, go ahead. You can. Well, Doug recently retired.
Yes.
So your day job now is napping.
What? Well, yes. That TV watching, senior citizen center. Do a little bike riding over there, but very little.
Well, Doug, what did you used to do, which is what I do now?
All right. Well, I used to have my own business, and Rich was suitable to the task, and he purchased it and is doing quite well with it. He's got all the energy that I don't have anymore, so he's doing it justice.
Yep. So Doug recently retired, and the job he retired from, he sold the business to Rich. So there's Rich's job. Charlie, I mean, I guess you're kind of retired now, Charlie. I don't know. You're so active, I can't even keep track.
Well, when I was working, we had a cattle farm, and I was also a teacher.
That's right. For like 20 some years, right?
I was a teacher for 35 years,
35 years.
and I was a farmer since I was the age of 6 years old.
Yeah. And so that was like, what, 30 years ago?
So Charlie, was milking a cow easier than teaching 30 kids in a room?
Different.
Yes, it was. And
What was more pleasurable for
we
you?
actually milked our cows by hand when I was a teenager.
Well, that's why I asked. What was more pleasurable for you?
Betsy, the cow. Betsy the cow.
I'll tell you what, my
By the
wife's
way,
a
let me
teacher.
tell you about-
Reciprocate.
let me
My
tell you
wife's a
about
teacher, and
Betsy
I
the
hear
cow.
those stories. It's tough
was-
to wrangle all those kids.
Betsy the
I
cow
wouldn't
was
consider
grand
what you
champion.
do to a cow wrangling.
Betsy
Yeah,
the
let's
cow
just
was
hope
grand
Charlie grabbed the
champion at
right
farm
part.
show,
Wait,
Pennsylvania farm show.
Mid-Atlantic
Grand champion cow.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Seriously, grand champion cow at the Pennsylvania farm show.
Yeah.
Um,
Show us your hands, Charlie. There you go. How do you do that with? Show us how you manipulate.
no. It's a PG channel. Don't show us how you manipulate.
Uh,
All right, let me see. I'm never going to get through this. Oh, that's just me. There we go. Believe it or not, I have 2 weeks of videos. We're like a third through the first week. I might have to just
show us those crusty old coppers. Come on.
well, I had more, but granddad something or other said he never knew it existed. There's another copper. Looks like a KG2. Is this
Another.
a clip? Oh, it's a clip.
Let me see.
Hold on, I don't know what it
I think
is.
it's gonna be- We're gonna need the quarter water. Oh my God! I've never.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Gonna be
I'm
silver.
guessing it's going to be silver. Is it dime or quarter sized or bigger? Smaller.
Oh.
Half dime.
Oh, this.
What was it?
No. It's going to be. It's either going to be a half real or is it a cat bust? Another. You son of a gun!
Look at that.
Cat bust. No, it's not.
Oh,
No, it's not.
what is it?
Yeah. See, I thought.
you thought it was a flowing hair.
Yeah, because if you look at it right there, it looks. It
Oh,
looks like
yeah,
it's
it is.
got-
Let's everyone's heart come back down. This
yeah.
is right on the verge of the old land and the new land.
Whoops.
All right, let's have the rich cleaned up, and we're going to take a look at the oldest silver American coin that I've seen and find ever.
All right, let me pause it. Before I get into it, someone said I forgot to say my job. I didn't mean to forget. I do computer work. I work from home. I sit in front of a computer all day. Been at the same company 30 years as of last month. It's
And then
not
after
fun.
work-
It's kind of boring.
And they
But I
haven't
don't find enough
caught
week
on
pennies
TV
to pay
yet.
the mortgage.
And then after work, he does more computer work.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I don't even mind. It's just that there's only so many hours in the day, and there's so many things I want to do, and I try to fit sleep in there and family, and it's tough. That's one of the reasons I had to move the after show to every other week. So that's what it is. I wasn't trying to be deceitful, Richard B. What do you do for a living, Richard B? But there's a picture of Rich's cat bust. There was a half dime, wasn't it, Rich?
yeah.
Half dime. And the clip, it seemed like it kind of flowed really quick. I had to really edit it down because when Rich yelled out cat bust half dime, I thought he was right. So then I chimed in, oh yeah, it is a cat bust half. We're all freaking out. It went on for like 6 minutes. And then we realized that it wasn't. But I cut all that out for the sake of, the
Brevity.
minimizing.
You mean flowing hair? You thought it was? We thought for a second.
Well,
was-
you thought it was a flowing hair. I
Right.
have my glasses on. It could have been a rock for all I knew. So I was just reacting to what you said.
Yeah, it just for a split second, it looked way different. But
An interesting point about coins like this. We find more Spanish silver this age and even older than we do American early silver. That's why we get so excited when we see something of that age and in that condition, which was pretty good condition for the age.
Yeah, cat busts and earlier U.S. are the most desirable silver coins that we hope to find.
Right.
And even though we find the reals that might be, 80 years earlier, we're always kind of hoping for the U.S. because they made so few of them.
Right.
They're much more desirable. And
So for Rich to get 2 in 2 weeks is just unheard of.
yeah, the cat bust, any denomination cat bust, half dime, dime, quarter, we average maybe one a year for the whole group of us, maybe one a year.
and that's I found out through somebody's comment. I can't remember who, but that's actually the rarer version with the small on the back where it says 0.5C.
Oh, hold on. I
there's
have a picture of the
5C.
back. I'll bring it up.
Yeah,
It's the small 5C. There was a
A
small
few
5C.
comments. Barbara Bob detecting. Another cat bust for Susan Huffman. And then I do have there's the back of it. Oh, from Treasure Hog, who I saw in the chat earlier. Oh, he's the one that said about it. So yeah, the 1835 cat bust half dime is the large date small 5C variety. And then he gave it his opinion on the condition, which I always struggle with, but I'll accept the X-Fine details. And he gave a price, which is always subjective also. But no doubt a stunning coin, no doubt incredibly rare, at least for us, to dig out of the ground. But amazing coin. And we find so few of them. It is super
exciting. As much
exciting.
as I'd love my Flying Eagle, I'll take any one of those early American silvers in place of it.
Doug, do you have a cat bust anything? Or is your earliest U.S. silver still a seeded coin?
Yeah, the earliest is I've got an 1837 half dime, which is seeded, and an 1841 half dime that's seeded.
Yeah, so no cat bust yet for
No
you.
cat bust, no.
Charlie, do you have a cat bust? Any denomination?
No, I do not have a cat bust.
No.
That's a bucket lister for me.
Yeah, my first one was a Charlie permission too. So thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
A week before, I think it was.
Yes.
It was.
I wasn't there, but yeah, I saw a ton of pictures, and yeah, two in that same time period.
And Treasure Hog's right. I put them next to each other. That 5C on that one there is about half the size as the 5C on the other one.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that there was a variation on there. You know, we find those coins so infrequently. I'm not researching it as much as the coins that we find all the time, the coppers and things like that.
And there's not that much to research about it. I mean, it's a U.S. coin. It's awesome, but
Yeah. Oh, and just to let everyone know, Richard B. Worked for Sears as an appliance technician, Doug.
Good.
He was the one that accused me of hiding the job from all of you. Now it's all out there.
Well, we know who to call if the refrigerator breaks.
I had to replace my fridge twice in 5 years. The darn compressor kept going bad. But and I'm just busting your chops, Richard B. Thank you, sir. All right, let's see what else we got. At least try to get through this. I mean, it's almost an hour and 45 minutes. Having a good time today, though, Doug.
Yes.
Doug, I gotta go.
Oh, I got another clip. Let me do a full screen.
3738, which is like a mystery. You don't really know what that could be.
Could be trash.
Yeah. Dug down about 4 inches. It's under this dirt bomb. And I immediately saw that. And I was like, what the heck could that be? I see the shank on the back. And this side, I see a star in the middle and all sorts of light going around it.
It's so cool.
All right, there's the button I got. And we started brushing it. It's funny. We all were trying to read it. And at the same time, we all said, Ductor? Did they misspell Doctor? It says Conductor. It's a railroad button. Maybe from like the Pennsylvania Railroad, something like that.
I don't know. I don't think it is.
You don't think it's railroad?
No, I think it's railroad, but I don't think it's
PRR.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, you think
They
it's
would
something
have,
different?
yeah.
Darn it.
The PRR.
What are you doing, Jason?
I'm still getting used to all the buttons. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know why I played a whole video clip. I could have just put the picture up, but whatever. But that was one of the best buttons. I love the two-piece buttons because they always have an image on it. You never know what it's going to be. I didn't mean for the clip to play through. Let me go back.
That's a good image right there.
There it is. But yeah, that conductor button I thought was super cool. Turns out Doug was kind of right. It could be Pennsylvania Railroad. It was more of just a generic conductor button that anyone could have used, where if it was specifically for a Pennsylvania Railroad conductor, it would have the PRR on there. But it's still probably like 1880s or so. Super awesome find. And as the day progressed, I think we found 3 of them in total. I don't know if I recorded them all, but they started popping out of the ground. I think Leroy got one. I had 2. I don't know if anyone else got one. But that was an awesome button.
I was hoping to find one of those there, but I didn't.
No.
Interestingly, and we may be seeing that in future videos, but we found a lot of buttons with stars on them in all those fields, and not necessarily the conductor buttons, but just different designs with a star in the middle.
Well, we found over 200 buttons so far. They don't all make the videos because I have to edit them out.
Right.
And I don't know if I'd say there was an abundance that had stars. There was just 200 buttons. So a lot of them are going to have stars. A lot of them are flat. You know, like we found so many buttons.
And Jason, I was telling this to Doug, but I've been reading the military, before they started putting eagles and stuff like that on their buttons, they were using stars and flowers. So
really?
The amount of flower and star buttons we have found is just staggering.
Yes.
So I mean, a lot of those could be old military buttons.
Well, that Albert's book that I mentioned earlier with the Andrew Jackson button, it's really good. Shows a lot of the picture of the buttons, gives information, but I certainly don't have them all memorized. And if you don't know what the button is, you'd have to go page by page through the book, hoping to find the right page, because you don't know, like, is it a Texas state button? Is it a presidential button? Is it a military?
It's tough.
Yeah, you don't know. So you literally just have to go page by page through the book. So it's a daunting process.
That's ponderous.
Yeah. So a lot of them, I might assume that it's one thing or another. I just don't have all the buttons memorized.
Hey, Jay, our friends Maine Dirt Sweepers.
The Maine Dirt Sweepers
are in the chat. And hopefully they've seen my Maine Cabin Masters. I know they know who they are. So.
Yeah, great people. And hopefully we'll be hunting with them soon up in the New Hampshire hunt. If we get up there with Brian's event, Dirt Fishing Adventures. Is that what he called it, Doug?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, we'd love to get back up there again. Last year, someone found a GW button.
Yes.
Someone found the Massachusetts militia button.
Yes.
Incredible hunt. I didn't even get to turn my machine on. I was talking to people from the moment I got out of the car until we left. My throat was hoarse. I didn't find a single thing all day. Kind of like this live stream. Let me see. Let me see what else I got. Oh, it's another clip. Let's see what. Oh, this I know what it is. Full screen.
He's got something. My camera is like 5%. If I can make it through the clip. He said he's got a penny that's not a penny. Oh, Doug, I know exactly what it is.
Oh.
Exactly. Hold this, Lynn.
Is it Civil War?
It's a Civil War, a sutler token thing.
Yeah.
Detail on that flag was amazing.
That's the first thing I noticed.
Yeah.
All right, so there's Dougie's. Let me bring it up. Where are we? Where are we? There we are. So this was an awesome one that Doug found. And again, we only knew it because we had found it before.
Yes. Where did we find it?
It's still playing. Hold on. Let me go back. I wanted to at least give the name of whoever commented first. Hold on. Let's go back.
Out of context, it's funny.
Yeah, the first one, I found one when we were hunting, not far from where Rich lived, but way before we knew who Rich was. I found this exact one.
No. Let me clarify that. You found the one with the cross cannons.
Oh, you're right. I found a different one.
I'll tell you.
Riley found this one.
Riley found it after Digstock. We went up into Chazy. I think that's how you pronounce it. And we got a permission there. And in 10 minutes, he pulled one of these out. The exact
you're right.
one.
My bad. And what's cool about this, they call it the flag of our Union token. During the Civil War, no one knew it was going to happen. It was turmoil in the country. So everyone started hoarding their coins because they were trying to prepare for the worst. They didn't know how long it was going to go on for. So there was a coin shortage all over the country. So individual businesses, store owners started making their own coins just to have money out there to be able to exchange, make change. So these were called patriotic tokens, and they were kind of legal tender, kind of not. It was a gray area. When the war ended in 1865, the U.S. passed a coin act that made them all illegal. But during the Civil War, there was hundreds of designs flowing all over the country. This one was called the Flag of Our Union. It's dated 1863. And that was the name I was trying to think of earlier, Doug. Brando Magnifico. One of those usernames that always cracks me up. But yeah, this one was a cool one. And the back of yours, Doug, I was doing some research on it. You can see it says there's a quote on the back. It's hard to read because it goes in a circle, but it says, if anybody attempts to tear it down, meaning our flag, shoot them on the spot, which is very, whoa, what are you talking about? And in the middle, it says Dix. Now, Dix was he was a former general I think he was in the Army. I forget.
He was a Union
And then
soldier.
during the Civil War, he was the Secretary of the Treasury. And after the Civil War, he went on to be the founding name of Fort Dix, which is is that an Army fort, Doug, in New Jersey?
Yeah.
It's a joint military base now. Fort Dix, McGuire, and Lakehurst.
Is it Army though?
Well, Fort Dix is Army.
Yes.
Army.
Yes. It is Army. KK did her basic training there. KK.
Oh, okay, so it's Army. But Dix.
Let me clarify a little bit. It's a joint military base now. It used to be a standalone Army base. They did basic training and all that. But now it's a joint base that includes McGuire Air Force Base and Lakehurst Post, whatever that is.
Naval.
So it's a joint. The three are combined, and KK could give you the real lowdown on that.
All right. Well, so I'm not sure what it is, but military people go there.
Yeah, and it's still active.
It's still active. When we hunt the farms in the surrounding towns, all sorts of crazy planes will go overhead. We had a stealth bomber fly over one day. It's an Air Force base. So there's all sorts of crazy Air Force activity going on.
My question is, why can you see a stealth bomber flying over?
He wasn't very good, that guy.
He wasn't stealthy.
He was a rookie. Not only did he go by, Doug, but he went by kind of slow. Like I filmed that whole thing. But that was one cool looking plane, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yes.
But yeah, anyway, so that's what the Dix reference is. And there's actually an error on this coin. I think I have a photo of it in the next slide.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to bring it up. Hold on. Hold on. Did I miss it? Let me go back. I know I put it up in there, I thought. Yeah, there it is right there. So if you look, Doug, the one you found is on the right.
Right.
And the error is right here, if you can see my mouse.
Yeah.
It says shoot him on the spot. But there's an error on this token that says shoot him on the spoot.
On the spoot.
Right. And now yours was kind of dirty, so I don't know what it said.
I'm gonna have to go look at it and look closely.
Yeah, the shoot him on the spoot is the more desirable one. So I'm not sure. So thank you to Kurt the Einen. Am I pronouncing that right, Rich?
Kurt, why are you asking me?
I don't know. You can read. Lynn, is that pronounced? How would you pronounce that, Lynn?
Say it.
Yeah, Kurt Heinen.
Kurt Heinen, not Kurt the Einen.
It could be, but
whatever it is. Thank you, Kurt. He pointed out. I did know that from when I researched Riley's, but in the moment I forgot. So I'm glad he pointed it out.
And the one you found, interestingly enough, was about 5 doors up from where Rich lives.
We said that already.
Which direction?
I'm not telling you.
Yeah, we're not going to say because we might go back there one day. We might not invite you.
And not invite me.
Yeah.
No, never.
We hit that spot. We hit
the
that spot a
Langhorne
lot. We found some
Hotel.
really good stuff there.
Yes.
All right, let's move on. How long has we been going, Doug? 2 hours?
Yes.
It's 9 o'clock, I believe.
Yeah. I'm not even going to get to the second video. We'll just do one. And I got another clip here. I don't even know what it is. Let's full screen and play it, but I know we're getting near the end.
Oh, we'll let Rich tell everybody once and for all where he got that bag.
Well,
Okay, I got it off Amazon, and it's not. I don't think it has a brand name. Jason, does it have a brand?
it does. I bought the same one in camo. It does have a brand name, but it's like a weird Chinese name. You know what I mean? Like the brand is like XVWI396. You know, like what?
To tell everybody what I do when I look for these bags is I don't like how they rip, they pull my pants down, all that stuff. So I
That's
search
what Charlie does to me.
I searched for chest/sling bags.
It's called a sling bag, yes.
For fishing or fly fishing on Amazon.
Wasn't Billy Bob Thornton in Sling Bag?
And that one, I think it was $30 or $26 or something like that.
It was $32 when I bought it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So I'm sorry that we don't have the brand for you to look up, but just search.
If you remind me, Rich, I'll put a link in Tuesday's video for the bag. It comes in like 7 different colors, and I bought one.
And they're all going to be up on your chest or your side, and that's what I was looking for.
It is a nice bag. I'll give him credit. I'll put a link if I remember. And yeah, it's got all sorts of compartments. It's a nice bag, and because it's over your shoulder, mine's pretty heavy. My bag, you don't notice it because your shoulder's bearing the weight. Where around your hip, like you said, all our pants are sagging down all day long because you got 90 pounds of gear all pulling down on your pants.
Yeah.
So it was nice to move that off to your shoulder. All right, let me bring up this clip, Doug, because some of us got to try to sleep tonight. I don't even know what this clip is. I don't remember.
I don't either.
All right, if you can believe this, Lynn, Rich gave the copper signal again. This will be, I think, 14 or 15 copper. What a day it's been. This is insane. Insane.
He's just showing off now.
Yeah, we're losing the light for sure.
Oh, wait.
Oh no.
It's this one.
Could be a copper.
It's got 4 holes in it, though.
Oh, they turned into a button. Oh, that's going to be tough to find detail because there's so little surface area left. But how cool is that?
That is
Look how wonky the holes are, too.
so different.
All right, there's Rich's coin that was turned into a button. And we were able to see just enough detail where this side is the shield of Rich's now 3rd New Jersey State copper that was mutilated to make a button for a farmer 250 years ago. This
Hold on. I didn't mean to pause. It.
which would have and all that stuff.
I'm going to bring us back in. I don't remember how long I let this drag on for.
I just gotta say that's one of my favorite finds to date.
Wait till it pauses because I think I have a side-by-side so we can talk about it while I don't see it. All right, there it is. Let me pause this. So Rich and I were just talking about this earlier today, that it's so interesting when you find a coin that was worked, that was used for some other purpose. And this one clearly was turned into, we say it was a button. Someone in the comments did say that it could have been like, there could have been leather going through it like a horse adornment. I don't know, but it was clearly turned into something else. I'm just going to go with button because it makes more sense.
Yeah, and I don't think in this case, I don't think it was the kid's toy.
No, a wizard. A lot of them turn into wizards.
Like that happens a lot. I think it was a button or a fastener or something.
Do you want to hear my theory?
No.
What's your theory?
I think it was a cap for to-go cup of Coca-Cola, and you could put 4 straws in and share it with your friends.
Oh, it's like we share when we all go to the Regal Beagle.
Exactly.
Who first person to comment that tells me what the Regal Beagle in wins a prize?
It was from.
What's the Regal Beagle from? I don't know how that popped in my head.
Well, it wasn't.
Hold on, Lynn. If you know it, don't say it out loud. Who knows
Okay.
the Regal Beagle reference? You win something. I don't know what you win.
I can't remember.
Everyone fell asleep, I think, in the chat, Doug.
There
There it is. Dangus Squat Burger. What
Oh,
That's
yeah.
another good name.
That is a
Another
good name. Lynn, that's going to be your next nickname.
You said that last time. I don't like that.
Oh, a bunch of them are coming in now. I didn't fool anybody. It just took them a long time to type out Three's company.
Yeah, 3 companies.
Dangus Squat Burger, though. You got the fastest fingers. Good job. Email me, Dangus, hoarder@yahoo.com. And I'll send you something. I don't even know what, because I just made that whole thing up.
How about one of our autographed pictures?
Maybe, yeah. Dangus, if you want to win, you got to put your zip code in the chat, just your zip code,
He's not gonna have a
and then email me your full address. And as long as the zip codes match, you're good. You know why I do that, Rich? The first time I did a live stream, I said, "Oh, you won. Email me." I had like 11 people email me and say, "Yeah, I'm Bob Smith." And I was like, "Oh crap!" You know, like, so I got to do the zip code thing.
Right.
There it is, Dangus. I see it. Thank you very much. Turd, my email does work, but I get a lot of them in my spam folder now. I don't know why it does that. So I've been actively now checking my spam folder every day. I don't know why a lot of emails default there, but I'm checking it.
Hey, can I say a shout out to John O'Brien from Queensland, Australia.
Wow.
Wow. What time is it there, Charlie? You're like a walking world clock.
Well, if he's still on the chat, he can tell us exactly what time it is.
I think it's 15 hours.
Ahead?
I put my
15
email
hours.
address in the chat, Doug, because you'd be surprised how many people don't know how to spell the word hoarder.
11 o'clock in the
A lot of people don't have the A in there. They spell it HORDER. And of course, I never get that email.
Yeah.
Not that I'm insinuating that a squat burger doesn't know how to spell, but that's how you spell it.
How do you spell squat burger?
Just how it sounds, squat burger.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, that's like the newest Burger King menu item, I think.
I know how you make them. I just don't know.
Maybe how you make them.
Just like it sounds.
All right, let's see. All right, let's try to get through this. I don't even know if we're near the end or not. Let me see.
Yeah,
Some comments on your coin. Kay in Maine. Kay in Maine's the one that said maybe the leather laces through it. Maybe. I don't know, Kay. But that's a good as guess as any. Jackson Rhodes just said it was awesome, and it sure was awesome. Scouting for History. He loved the thing and the patriotic token that Doug found. Good dude, Scouting for History. Pretty knowledgeable guy. He's emailed me a lot of good ID things over the last year. Smart dude. He's got a YouTube channel, I believe. This is a funny picture I got, Doug.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
This is my buddy Chris, who I think is going to be at the Show Me hunt.
Right.
He made this picture of the quarter hoarder drool bucket that he wears every week when he watches the video. I thought that was really funny.
That is really funny.
Yeah, that's good. He's a good dude, and he's got the hat on too. So thank you there to Chris. Oh, it's 12:18 p.m. in Australia, according to Dig in Virginia. So is that 12 p.m.
noon
on Friday? Are they in front of us?
It's tomorrow already.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow over there.
That's on the other side of the international date line.
Yes.
And I thought I heard, Doug, that in Australia, this is a weird, stupid thing, but if you flush the toilet over here, the water goes down like clockwise, but over there it goes counterclockwise.
Yes.
I heard.
No, it goes clockwise down there.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Doug is the king of flushing the toilets, Charlie. So I got to go with him.
I was in New Zealand. Well, I was in New Zealand, not Australia.
Same thing. Close enough.
They're right next door to one another.
Okay.
Right next door.
Well, Ken Hurst, a good friend of mine, he popped in. And while Ken was in, my phone was freaking out earlier. I got to look through it. But Carol, who is with Ken. I don't know exactly the nature, but I associate them together. She was texting me some find. I have to look at it when the show's over. But shout out to Ken. There's Clem Fandango, Rich, who got a shout out from Rich earlier. It was one of Rich's favorite usernames.
I love that name. I love your
NEPA
name.
History and Archaeology
Me
searches
too.
here. I didn't see him earlier. Richard B, Randy DeMario. A lot of them I got already. Smoking Louie, who I always do. Jay Diggs History. David, short and sweet, right to the point. Username, I love it. So thank you, everybody who's still sticking in here. I know it's late and I'm really tired.
What's the number there, Rich?
I'm
What?
sorry?
What's the number of attendees?
286.
Yeah, it's a school night. People are dropping off.
Well,
Lynn,
we were up there close to 400 for a while. So
Yeah, it's late. It's a Thursday. I don't blame them. I think we're going to do. Oh, and then that was the thumbnail I used minus the hidden thing because I didn't want everyone to see Rich's cat bust in the thumbnail. But that was Rich's cat bust. I love the thumbnail. I love the goofy faces. Good job, Dougie, for playing along.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to do the second video this week because it's so late. But what I am going to do before we leave is I want to do our Guess Lynn's Thing game because she went through the hassle of helping me create it. So we're going to end on the Guess Lynn's Thing game. If you haven't seen it before, you will win a quarter hoarder hat along with Doug and I have these autographed pictures we send out. I put some stickers in there. The game is whoop. Did I pause it? Okay. Let me bring I wasn't sure if it was playing. Let me bring it in. Here's how the game works if you've never been in the live stream before. It's called Guess Lynn's Thing. Lynn takes a photo of something from her awesome antique collection. Hopefully it's going to be something that you're not super familiar with. The first person that types the correct answer in the chat wins the hat, the picture, and you get a free coupon for Doug's kissing booth at a future event.
Hey, Jay.
Yes.
Speaking of kissing booths, I am actually thinking of doing that at the hunt in Greenville, Missouri.
Putting a kissing booth together?
Well, yeah, here's what I want to do. Kisses for the women, hugs for the guys, and all the money will go directly to St. Jude's Research Hospital.
Oh, you're going to do like a charitable thing.
Yeah, that's a big charity for my wife and I, and if it can raise a few bucks to help them, I'd even kiss a guy if there was enough.
All right, come on, listen, Doug. I'll pay the money for you to not kiss a guy.
I was gonna say if the guy
you don't want to get it on video for blackmail.
No, I'm not getting that on video. I like that. I'll reach out to the guy. I mean, it's a weird request. Listen, Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to Mitch and say, all right, Mitch, sit down and take a listen to this and see what you think. If he goes for the kissing booth, then so be it.
Yeah. It'll be very informal.
All right. So here's the game. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring it in full screen so that our faces aren't disturbing you. I'm going to have a picture of it up. It's going to be a close up, a few different angles. The first person that types in, you have to type in exactly what matches the text at the end of the clip. If I put a picture of a V nickel up, you can't say victory nickel. If I put up snow boots, you can't say frozen water boots. It has to be an exact match. Is that right, Lynn?
That's right.
All right. It's our game. It's our rules. All right, here we go. Full screen. Doug, if you know it, which I know you don't shout it out.
All right.
Here we go.
I just like the way Lynn is mugging for the camera.
I purposely wanted a picture where Lynn looked good and you looked ridiculous.
Well, that happens every time you take a picture.
All right, here we go. I'm playing it. Good luck, everybody. Get those fast fingers out. Open up your thinking cap and type in what you think. Guess Lynn's Thing.
That sounds so.
Yes, I agree.
All right, there it is. I know the guesses I'm going to get, but you might be wrong. You can guess more than once, too.
Shouldn't there be
Lynn, watch the chat. Rich, watch the chat.
Oh, you're gonna
I'm seeing a lot of guesses for what people think it is, but you're not quite right. Look at the close-ups. Look at the close-ups. I see a lot of the same wrong answer.
This is gonna be a tough one. We're gonna have
Yeah,
to look.
it's the wrong
really-
answer that I knew people were going to put in. That's part of the fun.
Yeah. But we're gonna have to watch the chat real close.
Right, watch it close. Everyone's putting the same wrong answer.
We knew that was going to happen.
Ah!
Oh,
No.
Jason.
And I paused it. Hopefully they didn't read it. If they did see it, then they can type it in. There's an extra clue up there.
Yeah. Oh, it's
sorry.
there again. Oh, no.
I
it's not.
know. I know. All right, Rich, do you see it yet?
No.
Oh,
Yes.
I see it. I see it.
Mud SWAT.
Mud SWAT. Now, I don't know if Mud SWAT read
If
it,
he
so I let
read
it
it.
play too long. Let me let it play through, and then I'm going to double check it, but I think it was Mud SWAT.
We could see.
Mud
They
SWAT.
are Conestoga
and then-
wagon grease horns. And Lynn, I'm going to have you describe it exactly how they worked. And as good of a guess as powder flask was not a powder flask. Lynn,
Nope.
take it away. Let them know what the difference is.
Okay, well, these were used in the 1700s and the early 1800s, and they were hung underneath the Conestoga wagon to grease the axle.
Yes.
And the horns came in all different sizes. I've heard of them as long as 30-inch long horns. These are about 14 inches, the ones that I have there, and I do have a smaller pair as well. But yeah, they're really early. They're just fun to find.
Wow.
Now, I brought this picture up that I found online. Now, this pair is the picture on the left is not Lynn's pair, but I was just trying to show a different pair so you knew like Lynn didn't have the only pair. And the picture of the Conestoga wagon, I couldn't find a picture online of any wagon with the grease horns on them.
Well, the thing that's underneath that wagon there is another form of a grease container. Well, I see those all, sometimes too, and they're real old.
Well, that grease container that's on this Conestoga wagon is actually after the horns. The horns
Right.
came first.
Yep, and then these were 1800s, but later in the 1800s.
Yeah, and if you see the chain that connects the two horns together, and Lynn's pair has the same connectors, that chain would hang on the same hook on the back of the wagon. And then later they started carrying that tar bucket for the same reason, but it
Right.
held more than the horns did.
It was easier to get at also.
Yeah. But Lynn's were the original grease horns to grease the axles so they didn't, they'd run smooth throughout the day.
And I triple checked. I've been looking through the chat. It was Mud SWAT who said it first.
All right. Now, Mud SWAT up. I see an LOL. I read it.
I was going to ask if you read it.
Yeah. What happened was I let the clip play too long because I'm a terrible host, and he was able to read it. So I wonder, and it's too late. Mud SWAT wins, but I wonder if anyone would have known because that was a hard one. When Lynn sent me the picture, my first guess was powder flask, just like everyone else said.
Yep.
So I wonder if anyone other than Lynn would have looked at them and said, "Oh, that's a grease horn."
I'm trying to make them harder.
And coincidentally, Lynn, Doug's nickname in high school was Greasehorn.
I'm sure it was.
Among all the other nicknames.
Yeah.
Those horns are missing.
Yeah.
Those horns are missing ox knobs, by the way.
So, yeah. Yes, they are.
All right, well, there it is. So Mud SWAT wins. He was the quickest. He read my mistake, but you know what? He had the fastest fingers. Sometimes life just goes your way. I think that's the end. I'm not even going to get into the next video because it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes and just having a good time. It just really, it really goes quick. But let me go through the chat if there's anything else that I may have missed.
Yeah.
Mud SWAT, I know I had your address years ago. I don't have it anymore. But if you can put your zip code in the chat and then email me, quarterhoarder@yahoo.com, I will send you out the hat, the picture of me and Doug that I don't have in front of me. and whatever else I said. I think I said stickers or something.
Adrian Tucker wants to, and I don't know if that's a man or a woman, but Adrian asked, "Is there going to be tongue kissing?" That will incur a higher charge.
Yeah, you have to bring a $2 bill, Adrian Tucker.
I have 2 of those in my wallet.
You have them in your wallet.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one in a while, but whenever you see one, like you can never spend it. Like everyone has, you have to save that for some reason. Now on the next 2 Thursdays from now, live show, I'm going to have an extra prize along with the guest Lynn's game. Let me go back to full screen. Well, we're going to be giving away in 2 weeks last year's Wheat Penny Challenge book. I had to delay it because I wanted all of us to sign the book because it's a big thing. We work on it all year. So we all signed the book. You win all the wheat pennies as close as we could get to the set. I'm going to add more information in Tuesday's video, but we're going to give it away on the live show. And because we didn't complete the set, which I knew we wouldn't, someone from over in England was nice enough to donate a hammered silver coin from the 1500s that I'm going to include with the Wheat Penny book. So someone's going to win one heck of an awesome prize, and we're going to do the giveaway here so you guys know about it first. Dangus Squat Burger. Thank you, Dangus. Thank you, sir. And thanks for the good name, too, the Squat Burger. You also win something. You're probably going to get a hat, too, Dangus, because I actually have them.
Real quick, Jason, Metal Detecting Coins says, I found Rich's bag on Amazon. Would you mind, Metal Detecting Coins, throwing that link in the chat real quick?
I don't know if he's going to be able to. I think the live stream chat by default does not allow links unless you're a moderator. You can try, but your comment might get blocked. That's not me. It's just how YouTube does chats. So try to put it in there, but if not, I'll make sure I have it in Tuesday's video, a link to the bag. But thank you for even asking. I just don't think you're going to be able to do it. Oh, Mud SWAT is giving away the hat. He's already got one. So how am I going to do this, Lynn? We could do, Lynn, do you have something nearby you can just hold up?
Do I have something I can hold up?
Yeah.
How about I find it? And
you go find something. Mud SWAT was nice enough to, what do you call that, Doug? Pay it forward?
Fess up.
No, pay it forward. Fess up is when you lie and then tell the truth.
Oh, he did fess up. He said he saw the thing on the.
But that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. Well, then he paid it forward.
Paid it forward is what I was going for. That was very nice of him.
Okay, you're gonna like this one, Jason. You're gonna know this.
All right, don't hold it up yet. Let me set the stage.
Yeah.
Everybody get ready. You're gonna type in, I don't even know what it is. So Lynn, whatever she says goes. I don't like the number thing because people start putting numbers in before you even say go. I hate that.
I literally just went and picked this off the wall.
Yeah, right off the wall.
Right over there.
Right. All right, where was it again, Rich?
Right over there.
It was over there? Okay.
Yeah, towards you guys.
All right, now I don't usually like the hold up to the camera thing because it's all shaky, but we're gonna make the best of it. Everyone can thank Mud SWAT for the winner. Lynn, hold it up as best you can, or Rich. First person that Lynn says wins because I have no idea what it is.
This is gonna be a little tough.
I will say beforehand, it is made of tin.
All right, Rich, whisper it in my ear so I know what to look for.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, there it is. Pull it back closer to you, Rich, so they can see the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right, there it is. Oh, come on, Rich. That's pretty easy. All right, come on. First person to type it in.
It's not easy because you know what this is. We've talked about this.
I know it is, but I don't know what word you're looking for.
Right. Oh, the chat's going so fast.
Yeah.
The clue is what it's made of.
Well, I saw one that I think might be right, but I don't know if it has a special name because we didn't rehearse this.
It does. So everybody who's saying tin hat, it's obviously a tin hat.
That's not the answer.
But why is it a tin hat? That's the.
I'm so lost. I would lose.
Can I venture a guess?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
We're not going to tell you if it's right or not, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could type your guess in like everyone else, Doug.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
I have no idea what it is. I'm seeing a lot of good guesses. Turd Ferguson guessed V-nickel. Is it a V-nickel, Lynn?
Oh, very close.
Victory nickel.
Oh,
There you
yeah, you
go.
didn't put victory nickel, Turd. All right, at this point, Lynn, I'm not sure. You might have to let us off the hook because I can't even go back and check because I don't know what it is.
I don't see it.
Oh, you don't see it yet?
No.
Maybe it was too difficult.
It's not. So just so everybody knows, it's not to poop in.
That was a guess?
It's several guesses, actually.
Yeah.
There's,
All right, I don't. In the interest of me going to bed at a reasonable hour, we're gonna have to figure out something because I'm getting really tired. Lynn, what was the answer you were looking for?
10th anniversary hat.
Oh,
Or
it had to
just-
say 10th anniversary
Well,
hat?
that's the whole
or
thing.
anniversary hat or anniversary.
In
The word anniversary has to be in there.
Oh, it
there's a
had to
story.
have anniversary in there.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if someone types it in. I'm giving it to the first person.
In the 1800s, people gave gifts of.
There it is,
Adrian Tucker.
Adrian Tucker.
Okay.
Adrian,
We
did
gave
you
you
win
the
a hat
answer,
like
but
2
you were
weeks
the
ago?
fastest fingers.
I don't know if Adrian won a hat or not, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know what the heck it was.
It's
So,
interesting, but you might not have time for me to tell it.
well, go ahead and tell it, and we will. Now, Margaret Furjet, she said it was me. Now, scroll up a little bit, Margaret. You typed it in a half a second after Adrian. Go back to the chat. The chat log at least is chronological order, and Adrian beat you out by like a third of a second. But I do see yours up there also.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lynn. Explain to them what it is.
Okay, in the 1800s, for the 10th anniversary, people would give gifts of tin, and they would have 10th anniversary parties where the whole table would be set with tin dishes, tin flower arrangements. Everything was tin, and the people would bring gifts, and some of them were gag gifts, some of them were, meaningful, but everything was made of tin. And these items now are really, really collectible and pretty rare. I have several, different hats. I have tin shoes, tin pocket watches. They made all kinds of crazy things. And over the years, I've had some of the flower arrangements, which I've sold. But it was just a neat thing they did in the 1800s. And now the 10th anniversary, I'm not sure what the gift would be.
Yeah, there were different. Tin was the 10th anniversary. Gold was the whatever
50th,
year.
50th.
Silver. What else?
Silver
Well,
was
they
20.
still have that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know what they
Yeah.
all are. I don't know how many people actually do that anymore.
Not
but
much
I know every year
anymore.
anniversary, there's like something.
There was a traditional list of gifts, which this was, and then there was a modern list. And the modern 10-year anniversary is something totally different than tin.
Yeah, someone says they saw it on another show, and what he means by that is when I first met Rich and Lynn and did in the video did a tour of the inside of her house, I showed the tin hat then.
You
I don't
did.
know if you told that same story or not. You may have.
You did, yeah.
Yeah,
And you
so if
mentioned it at our
someone-
Christmas party too. You talked about.
Yeah, but they didn't see that. They didn't see it. We
Yeah.
do our annual Christmas party, us as a group. We do it at Lynn's house because her house is the most interesting. And we tour all her stuff and see all that new tombstone thing you have is awesome.
Oh man.
I'm going to try to get to Lynn's house, which is tough, work, detecting, all that stuff. And I want to take pictures of a whole bunch of stuff because her collection is incredible, and it just grows and grows by the day. So, all right, we are going to go to bed. Adrian Tucker, same deal. You got to put your zip code in the chat and then email me for your hat. So I'll send out two, one to Adrian and one to, what was it, Rich Snuffleburger or something like that? Sausage burger? I forget. I'm so tired. Something burger.
I can't remember. Real quick, I know it's late, but
Thank you, Adrian.
Adventures in Dirt. Wait. Yeah,
Ken?
Adventures in Dirt in the House.
Yeah, I got him earlier. Remember we did a whole
did
spiel
you?
about
Somebody,
that's okay.
it confused me because somebody was just shouting them out.
That's okay. One of us is paying attention, and it's not you. but a shout out again to Ken, the Relics Radio podcast. A week from today,
Ken,
Thursday. Charlie, you said Teresa and KK, Karen, are all three are going to be on his show.
Yeah.
Is that right?
And Hollywood Joe.
And Hollywood Joe, one of our moderators. Now, Ken's podcast is only audible, so there's a good chance Charlie won't have pants on for that. But you guys can listen in the car, wherever you are, and enjoy the show.
I thought he's going to zoom it.
Oh, does he zoom it
There's
now?
a good chance he doesn't have pants on now.
Yeah, I mean, he might. That's true. I tell Charlie to stay seated for that reason.
Stand up, Charlie.
Ken, I apologize. If it is a video and audio podcast now, I didn't realize it.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's going to be Zoom.
Oh, okay. Well, then Charlie will be dressed, hopefully. I mean, I can't, you can't guarantee
Yeah.
anything.
And they will have video next week.
Yes. So, and we will check. Charlie will remind me because I'm really bad at that. But me and maybe Doug and Rich will all try to be in the chat and just try to do some shenanigans on Ken's show.
Jason, I'd like to apologize. I'm actually holding my phone. I just got power on my house before tonight's show. My phone wasn't charged up properly. I just had power today.
Oh. So how does you holding it now give it power?
No, I had to plug it in. I had to move my air and plug it
Oh,
in.
you had to move to the plug would reach. I
Yeah,
thought you meant
notice
like
the stairs.
your hand supplies power like you're some superhero. All right, I got it.
But
All
he-
right, Doug,
he
I'm
fed
super
the squirrel.
tired. I'm really falling asleep. Everyone do their last goodbyes. I'm going to do one more round of shout outs to people's names I haven't seen. I see Tim in there. He loves the streams. Thank you, Tim. 717 Detector. Judge Girlinghouse. That's a cool name. Of course, I see Teresa the Treasure Hunter again, one of our moderators. Thank you. Hollywood Joe probably passed out an hour ago, but thank you. Same with Wicked Digger. They got to work tomorrow. It's late. But thanks to the moderators. Margaret Furjet, who came in an inch from winning, but I'm going to shout her out twice. Awesome job. Bob Cook, David Cassidy from the Partridge Family. Was there a David Cassidy on that show?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Rich's favorite, Clem Fandango, Mark Waitsia, Sue Ramsey, Shroom Day 0117, X Mythol, Turd Ferguson, who was a group favorite. Go for Bill, I think got earlier. Robert Emmons, KK Karen, who we're gonna be digging with this weekend. Mud SWAT, everybody, crazy digging, NEPA, History and Archaeology Search that I got earlier. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. My throat's getting hoarse, so we're going to end this up. Last round of goodbyes or anything you want to say. We'll be back live in 2 weeks, but this is your last chance. Charlie, I'll start with you. Woo.
Thank everybody for watching us tonight. It's been a long night, but it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it.
Dougie?
Yep. Same thing. Good to see so many.
Ditto. Ditto.
Yep.
Oh, ditto. Okay.
Doug's a man of many words. Rich, you can go. I'll save Lynn for last.
Yeah, thanks everybody. It's just a really fun time, and I love getting all the questions and seeing what everybody says in the chat. And I can't wait to see you guys on this weekend sometime.
Yeah, we're up for debate if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday because it's supposed to pour Saturday, but we'll see how it goes. Lynn, any last goodbyes for you?
Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm gonna miss like a whole month of digs because I have a bunch of antique shows coming up. So I'm gonna have to hear about them on the next live stream, I guess.
Well,
from
usually we
Rich.
all call you on the ride home.
Yeah.
tell you
Yeah,
all the
you'll
cool
hear
things
about
it.
them on the ride home.
Well, I can't
Yeah.
wait, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, you just won't be able to see it firsthand come out of the dirt.
Right. I know it'll kill me, but
All right, well,
Good
let's
night.
get out of here, Doug. I'm super tired. Check out Tuesday's video. Like I said, we're going to have links to the events, information to win the Wheat Penny book, along with the hammered silver coin. It'll probably be the oldest coin that anyone has because it's older than what we have.
Yeah.
And the information for Rich's bag. But we're going to get out of here. It's been a heck of a long stream.
You know
So,
what? Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, one more thing.
The weekend of, I think it's the 11th and 12th, I'm going to be doing an antique show in Hudson, Ohio. If anybody is near that area and comes to that show, come and say hi. I have seen several people at shows that I know watch the show. So anyway, Hudson, Ohio, the show is in Canfield, Ohio.
Can
No, it's
No
actually
longer
not
they
in
call it
Hudson
Hudson.
anymore. It's just called that. It used to be in
Really?
Hudson. No, it's in Canfield, Ohio, at the Canfield Fairgrounds.
Here's what I'm going to do, Lynn. Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to give Rich 10 of the autographed pictures that we give out. He can give it to you. And if anyone comes up to you, the first 10 people get an autograph.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
All
keep
right.
them and sell them.
I don't know what you're going to get for him.
Good luck.
I know there's quite a few Ohio metal detectorists.
Yeah,
I've
we're going
actually-
out to Ohio soon. They have a lot of detectorists out there.
so-
I don't know how many go to the antique shows, but maybe they will now that you threw it out there.
Right. I'm
What's
hoping.
is there a website they can look it up? I don't even know where that would be in Canfield.
It's at the Canfield Fairgrounds.
Okay, they have to heard that if you live in
Yeah,
Canfield.
that's pretty big.
All right, and that's this weekend?
No,
No.
that is the weekend of the weekend of
13.
12. It's Saturday and Sunday, whatever that is. The 12th and 13th.
Oh,
12th
like
and
2 weeks
13th.
from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know when it is, Lynn. You got to
Yeah.
clarify. The 12th
It's
and
not
the 13th?
not this coming weekend, the weekend after that.
All right, 2 weekends from now, Canfield, Ohio. Go to the fairgrounds. Find Lynn. Tell her you recognize her from the show, and you win a prize, a picture of me and Doug that has nothing to do with it.
And guess her thing.
Oh yeah,
guess
there's lots
what?
of things to guess there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you can guess all the things that you won at the show,
Yep.
and
Those-
and maybe buy something there too.
Those
But-
grease
Wait.
horns are going to
Hey,
the
guy-
show.
oh,
Hey,
the
real
grease
quick.
horns.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Drew Shepard. I'm 10 minutes from Canfield. Wendy Olson, definitely heading to Canfield. That's awesome.
Oh great.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. All right, well then, Doug, we got to make sure we give Rich the pictures because I don't want Lynn to show up and not
12th
have them.
and 13th. April 12th and 13th.
No, March.
March. I'm sorry.
March.
March.
None of us know what's
12th and
going on.
13th.
We are a hot mess.
Yes.
All right, well, I hope they do show up. And Lynn, get a picture of you with them, and I'll put it in the next live show afterwards. You and the
Okay.
people.
Very good.
All right, that's cool if they want to do that. Smoking Louie is only 10 hours from Canfield.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh man.
well, he better come.
See you there.
All right, I'm getting out of here, guys. I'm super tired.
All right.
So, hey, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys will see us Tuesday. We'll see you back here live in 2 weeks. And thanks for joining us tonight. But I got to get some shut eye. So thanks for watching, everybody. Happy hunting, and we'll see you on the next one.
Good night.
Later.
Later.
Okay.